shadow of my wings.
That's about as close to an on Caligon the Black that we will ever see in theaters or on an individual medium. Anyway, everybody, welcome to the Jackasses reviewing the Rings of Power for the second freaking time. I freaking hate this show. Anyway, let me bring in the guests. Please welcome Perion first.
Dragons are so drama.
Indeed. So much drama.
Greetings, by the way.
Greetings. And please welcome the bomb.com himself, or so he claims, Mr. Johan.
Is everything ready? Do it.
Thousands of souls extinguished by the push of a button.
Understand, Yuri. This is only the beginning.
Well, that's going to be summing up Rings of Power in a nutshell. But
Oh, that's what this show is called.
You almost forgot already. I'm sorry.
I can never remember.
Don't you remember?
I can never remember somehow. That's why I just call it Things of Hoo-Ha.
Well, you should go to the grocery store then to get one of those member berries.
I don't know. I'm not sure it would help in this case.
Probably not.
True. I probably would have a different effect.
We were talking behind the stage about how during the fight scenes there should be a laugh track, or else they should sing a jaunty song like what was it? Doop 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 doop. I can't do it properly.
Oh God, not this scene.
All right.
Oh right, that I forgot about that.
Well, let's just start with the obvious beginning. So we talked about the Harfoots and the Southlands plot because it was dumb. Seemed like it was the least important.
It's weird because it should be kind of the most important. I mean, it's how Mordor becomes Mordor.
Yeah.
And it should be like maybe not the most important, but at least reasonably important.
Yes. Well, the major important stuff in the Second Age is Mordor and Numenor and the Rings. Pretty much everything else, nothing happens in the Second Age aside from that. Those pretty much cover the entirety of the Second Age, but they're stretched out for a long time, like thousands of years. And yeah, we decided to focus on this.
Query: is the Second Age? Is in the show? Is this the Second Age? Have they specified that's the Second Age in the show?
Yes, because that's all they have the rights to. This is after
I know,
the
but
fall of Morgoth.
Yeah. I know all that, but I mean, did they say we're in the Second Age now? In the show, as in so many words.
Why does that matter exactly? Does it need to say? Did they even call it the Second Age when it was happening?
Yeah, I'm just curious if they did, because a lot of the stuff that happens in it is actually meant to happen in the Third Age, as you know.
Yeah, like the Balrog, for example, is Third Age.
Almost forgot about that thing. as
The
well.
hobbits are third age, and the Istari are all the wizards are all third age. So,
Hold on. They were half-foots, so therefore your argument didn't count.
oh, I suck.
I know, you totally don't want to have cannibals, or murder psychopaths referring as half-foots, but
Yeah, I think that officially, yes, they have said that this is second age.
Yeah, I was just curious. I just be mildly curious about it because they seem to be compressing quite a lot within that period.
Oh, it's ridiculous how much they're compressing because they don't have like the creativity to do a long-running, lots of time jump story because you have to make lots of time jumps in this kind of freaking story.
Well, you kind of do if it's 3,000. The second age is actually longer than the third age. It's 3,000. I think it's 3,444 years, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it's a lot.
But didn't the writers have any experience at all?
No,
Not
failed
much.
It was a failed Star Trek script. That's it.
Really? And that's how they got the job? Wow.
Yeah,
They must have
J.J.
sucked,
Abrams.
they must have sucked that person's
No comment.
way too much. Damn.
Oh yeah, I definitely they only got it because J.J. Abrams put in a good word for them with Bezos. That's the only reason.
And why would anyone listen to J.J. Abrams is another question, but hey, whatever.
No. Surprise mechanics.
Well, the thing is, J.J. Abrams is actually fairly influential in Hollywood, and he has a lot of friends. That's the reason why people listen to him because it's kind of the same reason why, like, I guess Harvey Weinstein was relatively successful.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams is not really. He was a very decently successful showrunner for multiple shows, and he's made a significant amount of money for various studios and has done a lot of work in that direction. He's also the head of a major production studio called Bad Robot. So it's the network idea, a working idea. So it's definitely not built on any kind of merit, but unfortunately, J.J. Abrams has a measure of clout in Hollywood, which is frustrating.
Oh, well, merit's overrated anyway, so whatever.
Yeah.
You totally don't need that to make sure that a franchise keeps afloat.
Hey. If it's made lots of money, then hey, it must be good.
Well,
I think they didn't make any money at all. Probably some, but not a lot.
yeah, I have no idea how much this show made, to be perfectly honest. I don't think it was. So, its first episode got about 25 million viewers. And apparently it. Let me actually check the viewing numbers.
At one point, didn't it equal or surpass the number of viewers for House of the Dragon at one point?
Yes, there is. Oh, this is very interesting. So, according to Business Insider, Amazon has been suspiciously quiet about Rings of Power viewership in the 2 weeks since the season concluded.
Don't forget, they muted fans, they hided comments, they removed some of their reviews. They made it look like it was a successful movie in most cases, and they did it not once, probably even twice or 3 times in a row, if I'm correct.
I think it might have been 4.
Oh my god!
There's actual documentation of. Why waste time on a show that sucks? Because it's hilarious and we like ripping into it. It's fun.
We had a riot last week, or at least I did. I don't know about the other two. The other two were like.
I wish I could join you guys on the Hobbits, though. That would have been also very fun.
Yes, we would have had a riot. taking the you-know-what out of it.
Yeah,
Taking
we're
the
gonna be
crap out of it.
celebrating that somebody died. Huzzah! Totally not gonna be fucking having a cult right there.
And the threat at last was ended. It's kind of weird how this show begins with so much. There's a lot of tension at the beginning of the show. All the stuff about Sauron is here and blah blah, and then suddenly it kind of dissipates, and it's sort of like it sort of doesn't quite drive towards its conclusion, does it?
No.
Oh, this scene, I hate it already.
Yeah. So let's get into the whole thing. So we start the show off with Galadriel and this whole prologue. This whole bit is stupid. This is incredibly dumb. I have no idea who on earth thought this was a good idea. It's remarkable how utterly asinine this stupid freaking show
Imagine,
is.
imagine Gandalf teaching Frodo that if you want to make a boat, the difference between a boat and a rock is that a rock sinks in water.
Deep stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god!
I completely forgot about
didn't
that
know
scene
that.
where the people are making fun of Galadriel for. Isn't it the elves are making fun of Galadriel because of her boat or something?
Yeah,
Yes.
because the boat is pretty. That's why they're making fun of it.
Robert Jordan sucks, and so does Sanderson.
I could make it. No. It's ho 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 ho, not ho 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 ho.
Yeah, even though this show's so bad. Yeah, it is. Oblivious of physics. Yeah, it's like a ship floats because it looks up and a rock looks down. And sometimes you have to touch the darkness in order to see the light. That's so dumb. That is so dumb.
That's elvish physics. Besides, it sounds deep, so it must be true.
What? Have you seen the Easter Islands? Those rocks don't look down. They look like straight ahead in the horizon. And some of them even look up because they have not been carved out.
There's also the rather amusing thing of this is a princess of the Noldor. This doesn't happen to princesses.
No, they would have been literally bowing to her like, oh my god, you made this pretty. Well done, well done. Only praise, only praise. There is nobody that's going to be like, I hate you, Baka. That's not going to be happening. But yeah, I mentioned that.
Oh, wow, that's surprising. Dang. Yeah, okay. Yeah, please die, Amazon, please. They can't die, really, unfortunately.
The papers go brrr.
Well, they can't. Amazon can't really die because they're essentially a monopoly.
Yeah.
Well, of course, they will die eventually, like everything else does. I mean, all things die eventually, like Ozymandias and all that.
You know how the richest countries can get poor? That also happens with companies.
Yeah, I mean, 100 years, 1,000 years, 1,000 years hence, Amazon will be but a footnote.
Indeed.
The rings of well useless, exactly. So we're gonna
go. No, they were made without magic, so technically they are just rings.
Yeah, I hate this show. I really hate this show.
You hate it? I thought you would love it. I thought you were like, oh, I could make stories about this all day long. But apparently, man, don't want to be on your bad side after a while.
He wants Steve Bezos' autograph.
Mm-hmm.
Not Steve, Jeff. Where did I get Steve from?
I was about to say, who the hell is Steve Bezos?
I don't know where that came from. Everybody's thinking of Steve Jobs. I don't know.
Steve Jobs.
A hybrid of Steve Jobs and Jeff Bezos.
Maybe.
first you have Rings of Power, then you have Rings of Power Point 1, which you need to pay additional $20 for as subscription. Then you have Rings of Puder for for additional $20 again, and then they're gonna up the price to $60 to have the Rings of Power Premium Edition.
Yes. What's his name? Bezos is actually Sauron.
You're probably not wrong, actually.
I will consume this world by making everything bad. Nah.
One delivery company to rule them all, and in the darkness bind them.
I'm glad we have the royal delivery service here, which is good. The king service. You cannot get rid of it. It always will be more viable.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't you have a queen?
baby. Yeah, we have a king. We are a republic, but we have a king.
Ah, okay. Because you had at one point you had like queens for an entire century, but did the Queen Beatrix die and get replaced by someone else?
Yeah, now we have King Willem van Alexander.
Cool.
The
Okay.
creation of
That guy is a chat.
The main reason why the creation of Mount Doom is stupid is because it's so much buildup for the lamest freaking payoff.
No. The worst thing about it is that they don't die.
But it looked really cool.
Yeah, but they don't die. They
It
should
looked
be
cool.
totally petrified. They should have been all petrified.
Haters
A volcano,
gotta
you
hate.
cannot survive unless
It
you're a
lo-
Balrog.
It looked cool. Haters gotta hate.
With
Now, fuck
pleasure.
off.
Thank you.
With absolute pleasure and no
I
remorse.
have seen volcano eruptions happening, and trust me, those people would have been dead a long time ago.
I've seen volcano. Like, my dad was a few miles away from. Like, I've been near molten lava.
I have flew over a molten volcano. I have been flying over an active volcano even. That place is, if you the guide was explaining, if you even touch the ground, you're gonna burn to death. That's how hot it is there.
I was born in a volcano.
Impressive.
Nice.
I know.
Nice. Good book. So, we started. So apparently,
Yeah.
Finrod is kind of a
Oh yeah,
twink
that guy.
and a
yes.
loser.
He's a
And
poser.
they have just a whole thing of fell beasts killing eagles. Their swords look
Look at this
awful.
fight. Look how desperately he's fighting. Like, "Oh, I must fight. And
That's not the worst of it. It's just lame.
he took an arrow to the head, I guess. The way he dies is even worse. It's like, oh my god, here he's not even wounded or something. And then, when he dies, it's like, I am zombie now. I lay down here. It's like, at the end, Morgoth would be defeated.
No. Pardon me. Something was trying to fall on the floor. All right, I don't even remember this bit. Finrod and Galadriel and what?
Yeah, she picks up the sword and is like, I will find Sauron and I will kill her. Yes.
Yeah, it did.
I will have my revenge.
We want to be. I don't even know that they're not really even. It's actually kind of worse. They're trying to ape Jackson in a lot of cases. They just look. A lot of their stuff looks different and worse.
Don't forget the mystery boxes, people. Don't forget the mystery boxes. Get them hot and now.
Yeah, we talked about some of the mystery boxes last time. Who is the stranger? Who are these weird cultist people? It's like, I don't care.
Don't forget, who is Sauron? You're probably not gonna guess it, even at the first episode.
Well, he doesn't show up till episode 2. So
I know. But
Let's be fair, at least.
At least they got it there. But this scene, it looks so
Lame.
no, it
Also,
looks empty for a goddamn elf. It should be like if you die as an elf, as an elven noble, you should be praised with gold or something like that. I think they were buried with gold, right? They should be praised with gold or something.
And
At least show that it's a proper funeral. Like there is
also,
nobody standing near her.
also the stupid mark of Sauron.
Oh my god, it's a map.
No, oh my gosh, that whole reveal was ridiculous. Oh
That
gosh.
was getting nowhere.
Did we mention last time about how the lettering appearing on the screen when the Southlands turned into Mordor?
Oh yeah, that was so bad.
What?
That
You
was-
mean the teleportation technique? Of the villagers suddenly teleportating out of the castle into the village, and then the orcs being teleported out of the castle into the village.
That was also kind of stupid.
Everything in this show is kind of stupid.
I
can't think
felt
of
like,
a single
when-
good scene in this whole show.
If you're one of those peasant archers that are sitting on the roofs, and you're seeing suddenly seeing an entire orc army getting teleported in front of you, it's like, the fuck? How did they get here? I have no idea. Must have been the magic. Magic? Orcs? Never heard of it. Oh,
The
yeah.
paper boat on Finrod's knife is CGI. So is the paper. It's a map. Oh my
Fair enough.
god.
I forgot about that.
I guess that's where all the money went.
To the paper boats of CGI. And some of the CGI looks even shitty. Especially, the warg, Remember the warg?
Oh yeah,
puppy
the
warg?
warg.
Release the warg, and then you see that puppy ugly warg like, no!
Oh yeah, that
Get
thing.
away from me!
I mean, there were bits of the scenery that looked pretty.
Yes,
Mordor looked pretty, and
true.
I mean, I mentioned the
But
plants looking
the
pretty.
people-
Okay.
the people were literally bland copies of themselves, almost. It almost felt like they didn't have enough people to play as people. Almost.
Well, people probably cost too much money.
Yeah.
They actually
I-
there are scenes in the Southlands where you can see that there are duplicate people. Exactly. It's probably COVID stuff where they're just decide to replicate the exact.
Why would you
person in the
replicate
scene.
exact people? Why did you not, make another scene with people having different clothing on, At least that will make it more better.
That I remember that bit. That bit was freaking
The
stupid.
dog may bark at the moon, but cannot bring it down.
We'll get to that.
Oh
All
boy.
right. I think
Continue.
let's talk about Galadriel.
All
She's
right.
a terrible main character.
She's more like a villain than a character anyway. She's
Yeah.
egoistic, thinks only about herself, doesn't give a shit about what other people think. A terrible commander, absolutely the worst.
But
Deserves
she's
to be
right.
deserted at point sight. Wants only power. Will only get
Well,
power.
Well, that's actually not a bad thing with Galadriel. Galadriel is very power hungry at this point. She even refuses the Valar's offer of clemency to the degree that she says, "If you know, I will rule my own kingdom. I will not be ruled over by you." And so she gets a ban from them that's only lifted when she resists the pull of the One Ring.
Yeah, but still, it didn't
So-
feel like a Garel.
Galadriel.
Galadriel. There you go. Galadriel. There you go. I cannot pronounce this properly, but Galadriel. it doesn't feel like a politician to me. She feels like an absolute terrible piece of shit. If you talk to a queen and say like, I want an audition now, it's of course you're gonna get thrown into the cellar, but with no precautions.
But also, that's what she wanted. She wanted to audition for a starring role.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this armor though. I hate this. I hate this so much. This?
Yeah.
She
Well,
should have
she's-
removed that. She should have removed that chainmail and then just show her hair,
The
because
bit I'm-
this feels so out of place. What
It also looks
what makes this
ragged.
an elf? What makes this an elf? Could you tell? I think this is a peasant.
The bit I'm remembering is where she arrives at the Numenor, the court of Numenor, and she says, "Well, you owe this country to the elves, or this island to the elves, or something."
But if she removed the top part of her chainmail, that would make her more feminine looking. Now she looks like a fucking squire in the middle of a fight against some other people bashing with shields and all that stuff. Just regular soldier dude.
Yes, but in terms of Sauron, I'm not Sauron, Galadriel.
Galadriel. Oh,
I
there you
called
go.
her Sauron. To be fair, I'm a little tired, but still.
Fair.
So, in terms of Sauron being a bit of a bleep, she arrives at the court and says, "You owe the island to the elves."
Which is not true.
What kind of redemption did she got? Absolutely nothing.
Well, not yet, anyway. Maybe later on she'll turn out not to be bleep anymore. Maybe at the last moment, maybe that's her redemption arc.
No. She already dumped the person that forgave her, which was Sauron.
Yeah. Well, we have a guest.
The only
in the back
redemption
room.
she got
One
was from
second.
Sauron, and Sauron was like, "Well, if you don't like my love, then fuck off. Goodbye. I'm gonna create my own people with my own
Well,
orcs."
So that's why Sauron turned evil.
Yes.
Yeah, let's bring in the
Probably.
guest in the back room.
I am the scales of justice, conductor of the choir of death. Sing, brother, sing.
I think we call that a simp.
Afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah,
Simp
Yeah,
Sauron.
they made
turned
Sauron
Sauron
into a
into
simp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yep. Which is kind of amazing that they managed to character assassinate Sauron.
How do you do that?
They do it because it's the right thing to do these days. It's the right thing they do. The writers feel justified to do everything in their needs to make this as progressive as possible.
I don't know what that has to do with it.
A
Oh,
lot.
come on. This thing is not working.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
So-
stupid that they assassinated that guy, because Sauron was the one that I was rooting for, but apparently he's a sucker.
He looked like a lamer. I would have rooted for Sauron, but he looked like a lamer, so no.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a theory for a while that people were wondering who Sauron was, and there was a theory that Nori was Sauron.
Which is ridiculous.
Well, I don't think it was a serious theory.
Well, honestly, it's just like this show exists to stroke the egos of a pair of man children whose only qualification is J.J. Abrams said, "Hey, Jeff, do me a favor, give these guys a job." That is the only reason why they got that job.
Yep.
Either that or they're really good with their mouths.
No comment.
X to doubt on that. X to doubt.
I don't know.
Yeah, Ada was indeed a very rootable character. That was
So,
the only
what-
tier that was decent enough.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. So
Ooh.
where are we? What you guys talked about?
So far, we've mostly talked about the beginning with Galadriel, and now we're going to go into the whole troll fight thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
that I forgot all about that too.
Define physics.
Ah.
Lovely.
No fancy swords, only just, panicked soldiers that are not fully trained to deal with goddamn trolls. I'm like, my god, jeez.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, the scene that got memed the internet over.
Let's see. So the chat is telling us who Sauron is. Kelsier is Sauron. Space Junk is Sauron. Moiraine is Sauron.
Moraine is Sauron. Space Junk is Sauron.
Well,
Kelsier is Sauron.
Space Junk and Sauron do both begin with S, so
It is, especially if I
It's a Sauron party.
Ah.
Watch that.
I'm gonna do a jump from a sword. Take that.
That is so dumb.
Because it's Sauron.
No, people complained about how Legolas was literally defying physics, in Return of the King. Apparently, and people said, "Oh,
Yeah.
Galadriel doing this is wrong," but when Legolas does it, it's fine. It's like he was holding on a rope on an elephant.
But at least he looked cool in it.
Yeah, and
Well,
that
I
actually
don't
makes
know
more sense.
I don't know if it's the
doesn't make
same
sense.
people. I don't know if it's the same people complaining or not, though.
I don't know. I was
But-
like, this is just it's mainly, at least Legolas looks cool. The main thing that I take issue with Legolas doing is the Mario jumping because it looks
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Oh,
That
that
is
one with the
ridiculous.
yeah, I know that one with the falling
was-
staircase. It was funny.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was
man.
hilarious. It was
I-
awesome, and it's hilarious badness.
That was
Yeah,
like,
because
awesome.
it doesn't show the skills of the elf. Let's put it that way. Like if he was able to dodge a sword swing, yeah, that would be cool. But
In
jumping from a fallen rock, eh.
do the
Multiple
Mario.
falling rocks.
fact, Legolas is the Roadrunner confirmed.
maybe
Clearly.
Jinx.
So after that, Galadriel is such a crappy commander that even after finding indisputable proof that Sauron was there, her men defy her and just leave because they say, "You are an ass. We hate you."
Well, they're not wrong. They're probably doing the smart thing.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I
yeah,
totally
leave her
know
to
that.
die in the cold. That's the very smartest thing you could ever done to a
Yeah.
person like this. hmm
Yep.
It's like the same thing with what was it, Mr. Krabs on the boat, where he's looking for his wallet, and then finding his wallet was the most hardest thing ever, and then almost a mutiny happened. Oh well, a mutiny did happen.
And then after that, she goes back to Linden and has a discussion with her daughter's future husband. And it's very weird. It's extremely weird for the very simple reason that it seems like these two are being set up as being shipped, even though that's his future mother-in-law. What the heck were you?
People
Well,
are
she
really-
she's young for her age. Is this the one where they're seeing about where she is? You have not seen what I've seen.
No, that
That-
comes after that.
That comes here. Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Oh.
There
It
is
was the
so
sweetest
much bad frickin' dialogue in this show.
I like it when they're deep, don't you?
No, because they're bad at it.
Can we talk about the chainmail dresses? Oh yeah, we talk about the chainmail.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you're right.
Don't worry about it. Got
The
to it.
chainmail dresses, yeah, freaking what's her face?
Bitch bait. Bitch
Tarmiriel.
bait. Yeah.
Tarmiriel. I actually like Tarmiriel.
What? She was
Yeah.
blind.
She's kind of hot.
She's
fine.
well, I think she's a terrible actress playing a
Oh, yeah,
really
no doubt about
bad
that.
character. Since Cynthia Addie Robbins is a really, really, really bad actress. I've seen her in several things, and she mostly plays. She doesn't really have any screen presence, and she's extremely one-note and untalented. She's very attractive, and that's probably one of the major reasons why she gets roles. I feel very bad about saying that, but even comparing her to somebody like,
well, maybe something else as well, but that's just me.
She's a better actress than you are.
Oh yeah, indeed.
At least I can act the part.
Isildur's sister was better than Galadriel. Galadriel.
Isildur's sister. Okay, yeah, Isildur's sister. I do remember.
That's big boob. That's the big boob one. Big boob.
Was she? No comment.
Yeah, she. Yeah, I think that one of the nicknames for her online is Big Tits McGee or something.
No,
I mean, it's not inaccurate. I'll give it that.
She has such hunker-de-gadoos.
Look, if there's a hot girl in it, it has to be good.
Yeah, but
okay,
she only got like 2-3 scenes, probably no 5, I believe. In total.
So by that logic, the Transformers movies are good.
Well, I haven't seen them, but I assume they are.
Oh God, you're right.
And I do remember. Actually, I did see that one scene where the chaps are admiring a car and admiring a lady at the same time, and kind of equating them. That was a very illuminating experience.
Huh.
Yeah.
But this whole conversation makes no sense. Like, oh, you're back, Galadriel, and then Galadriel, and then suddenly she's like, bitch, I am here to proclaim my land, and I want it now. I need more men. I must find this man, and I will go to Mother. That's really what she says.
Well, we'll get to that later. We'll get to that in a bit.
Let's call her Gal for short.
Yeah, Gal.
We'll get to that in a sec. We have to talk about something else before we do that.
Oh, you mean this armor? It's ugly.
Okay.
It's ugly as hell.
Yeah, not just the armor. We have to get through a whole bunch of crap. Like Gil-galad saying that as a reward you will go back to Valinor, even though he doesn't have the power to do that.
Yeah, because the kinslaying. Or the kinslaying, sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, the kinslaying.
Kingslaying, that's it.
Yeah.
Wait. This guy doesn't have the power to do that, so technically he's not in charge of sending people back? Then who is?
Nope. That's because he's just the High King of the Noldor. He isn't. Only the Valar have the permission to allow people back into Valinor.
So is it established in the show that Galadriel is under the ban of the Valar?
No. Nope, because that's Second Age. But it's just the whole thing is a mess because you're trying to fill in headcanon with your own head. And there's even a whole scene where Gil-galad and Elrond talk about how maybe because Galadriel is being an awful, awful person, she's stirring the fires of evil.
And he's not wrong, technically.
No, he's not, which is really, really...
Wouldn't it be a riot if at the last minute, after apparently Halbrand has been revealed to be Sauron, he's wearing this cape, at the very last minute Galadriel takes her mask off and she's Sauron?
Dun, dun, dun.
That would be freaking hysterical.
And she laughs maniacally.
The Stickman cartoons were great. They were like fighting scenes. This is not fighting scenes. This is literally like, I will stare into the abyss right now.
Yeah.
At least the Stickman series did have some lore in it that made sense.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Abandoned. Yeah, let's get into that. So, yeah,
Oh,
apparently they're getting raptured or something. Because it looks like they're getting freaking raptured.
I don't know. They're getting snapped out of existence.
Oh, that's some interesting CGI lighting effects.
It's a real shame that all the money went there.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
Do you know why a stone floats and just a ship floats in a stone?
That makes no bloody sense.
Do you know why the ship floats and the stone sinks? No, because the stone is heavy. Dumb.
You don't get elvish physics, that's all.
Can I just say that screen right here is fucking hilarious.
Look how she got how she got black-eyed. You know, she's like she has bruises on her face. Like she's like, oh, I have not slept for quite a while. This is tiring. Ah, yeah, Meteor Man.
Oh, that.
We'll skip that. We talked about that last time.
Yeah.
Underdog. Wouldn't it be right if that turned out to be underdog instead?
Oh, hey, ants. Remember ants, everybody? Do you remember the ants? Not gonna be in the show.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a frog.
We're gonna use them next time.
Neither bird nor plane nor even frog. It's just little old me, underdog.
No, it's a surprise that we're gonna be using next time. The ants. Definitely.
What
it's a
next
jewel.
time?
It's not Gandalf after all.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely it's Sureman.
I was saying John Borman, but that makes too much sense.
It's a slug, he says in the chat.
Yeah. Oh my God, she's crying, people. Oh.
Is she?
No.
Yeah. She's
Hope
very
you die.
overexposed. She's kind of green too. She's gone a bit green.
And then she just jumps.
No. She's the little mermaid. Remember?
Oh no, the hobbits! Oh no, hobbits! Help! 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 It's the hobbits!
Look at that.
They're
She
gone.
turned into the little mermaid. Oh my God.
So
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
So Gandalf is underdog, and Galadriel is Ariel.
yeah.
Yes. Ariel.
It's,
Well,
a
after
I'm
mouse-
gonna
this-
name her Ariel now. From
It's
now
just-
on.
it's intertextual.
Just what was that all about? It just makes no bloody sense.
Does it also
Yeah.
make no sense that she literally traveled for a full day on the sea with no
Plus, not to
water and nothing?
Plus, not to mention, she could have just got a boat out of Eleanor and just rowed back. You don't need to swim.
Death to the
Agreed.
Harfoots.
Yes,
Indeed,
the
yeah.
Harfoots
Well,
are
no,
savage.
they're called nobbits. We call them nobbits on this channel.
Nobbits, indeed. Yeah, they are foul,
Cannibals.
loathsome creatures.
They're cannibals. They're murder mass murderers.
Don't know if they're cannibals so much as just they're.
Well, they're celebrating the death. Like,
That's not
yeah,
cannibalism.
you died. Well done. Congrats.
That's not cannibalism.
Well, at least they're very sadistic.
Can you prove
Yeah,
that they're not
barbaric.
cannibals?
Yeah, exactly.
I shouldn't. Well, actually, I shouldn't have to prove that the hobbits are not that the nobbits are not cannibals.
Oh,
Then why are they
no,
called
no.
nobbits, huh? It has the
No.
num in it.
So basically,
reason
the
why it's called
hobbits
nobbits
are. So the
Yeah,
hobbits
go
are the ancestors of orcs or something like that.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, ancestors of goblins. Goblins. Yes.
No, because they're the weed. That's why they're so
The
good.
weed. The weed that
Please.
needs on weeding.
Based on the Lord of the Rings and Appendices by J.R.R. Tolkien. It should actually say inspired by rather than based on.
Yeah, I think they are definitely cannibals. See,
That is the biggest
people are
insult.
agreeing.
Death to Harfoot, says Lady Balefire.
Indeed.
Yeah, there probably are cannibals, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, they dress like it. They act like it. In Africa, if you look at the cannibal culture, definitely they are almost 50-60%.
Yeah.
Compared
They
like
haven't got a Wicker Man yet.
There's 6. They eat 6 meals a day.
Well, not every cannibal has to eat human flesh, but it is more like at funerals you eat the human flesh, to represent the fallen. To keep the rememberings in your brain by eating the brain. Big brain move.
Charming thought.
Yep. It's a charming what?
Yes.
So charming. So,
You have not seen what I see.
Oh, so charming. Can't get enough of these pieces of dog crap.
But anyway, we finished. We did them last time, though.
Yeah.
We had a riot with that. Or I did.
Yeah, let's
Where is
keep going.
Gabriel?
So then we kind of diverge and we go to Elrond. We'll kind of like go episode. I think with this one, like just to keep organized, since there's kind of a divergent split, we'll just talk about Elrond. We'll kind of go back and forth between Galadriel and Elrond. Sound okay?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Sure
Yeah.
thing.
So we'll have to touch on Numenor too, because Galadriel turns up in Numenor.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the Galadriel story. I'm just folding them in because the show has way too many freaking characters. It's so frustrating how many characters they have.
Oh, that guy was in the crown.
If they would have made the story a little bit more cool, made the story a little bit more able to be followed, then maybe the too many characters would not have been a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if the characters were all connected somehow to the main narrative.
Plot? No, to the main plot.
Yes,
Remember? The plot of forging the rings. The rings that have not been forged until the fucking last episode almost. Which doesn't even consist with magic.
The titular rings. We kind of forgot about those.
Yeah, they kind of forgot about the whole damn. There were more than 3 rings, but all right.
The Elven rings were also forged last.
Of course.
Anyway, this guy was that actually played Celebrimbor was in the crown,
which pisses me off.
And he traded it for this. Why?
He traded this for this
because Amazon is rich.
Worst trade deal ever. I will say it now. I will say it ever. Worst trade deal. Never do this again.
Yep.
They did.
He's also like, I'm gonna use this hammer to smack your fucking head in. That's his position right there.
So, with this one, I'm just like, I think that the whole thing with Morgoth feeling a little bit of guilt and seeing in the Silmaril, I just think that's so stupid.
What? I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, well, it's just, Morgoth found the Silmaril so beautiful. And let's pause that to make sure. No copyright. Thatcher's stolen them for weeks. He could do nothing but stare into their depths.
I like how Elrond is like,
Yeah.
And he was faced with the evil of his own reflection. Morgoth is pure evil. There is nothing redeemable about him.
Yeah.
He is completely evil. And
so what makes him evil then?
Well, for one thing, he was against the will of God and basically just was extremely prideful and wanted to basically do his own make his own music rather than adhering to the music of God and trying to mess up creation.
His music is Walt too.
So he committed all the 7 sins. If he
is the seven sins.
Gay.
Yeah, they are gay. They have cut their hair. Their long hair is no more needed because they needed that tomboyish look. And
Well,
they're fucking gay.
I can do it.
Yeah, Galadriel is gay. She doesn't need no man, so definitely gay.
Well, it does mention that she had a husband. It's just that he was a punt, shall we say?
Well, the husband's mentioned in one place in a one of the later episodes. And it's kind of implied that was it kind of implied that he's dead? But anyway, he's not even mentioned for several episodes, and then by the way,
yep.
Didn't this guy got murdered while making the rings?
Yeah.
Didn't Celebrimbor not get murdered by Sauron?
They haven't gotten to that point, I guess, but yes, eventually he does get killed by Sauron. I don't care about spoilers. It's for a book that's been out for over 30 years.
Well, there might be somebody who was actually there might be someone who hasn't read the book yet, in those 30 years.
Well, they certainly haven't.
Why should I care?
Because then you're a jerk.
And you're
this is news to anybody?
Fair point.
Oh, Beleren, I have a counter argument. You're a poopy head.
Die screaming.
Wait. Elf's hair's game is
the elf's hair game is on point.
Yeah, indeed, it's on point. It's
because
just
New Zealand is phenomenal.
Yep. And now you only have short-haired elves with no characteristics of elves except some little pointy ears that are almost looking human. No shiny gold, no flamboyantness, no pride looking into them. It's just, tin box man wearing metal armor. It's absolutely horrendous.
Mm-hmm. Because the Silmarillion doesn't have a plot. It's a history book. Pretty much the Lord of the Rings spoils the entirety of the Silmarillion.
Yeah, in terms of spoiling the entire, it's kind of spoiled already in the appendices. It's a meta narrative. It's a mythos.
Well, the Greeks' mythos was also the mythos, but it had its own story. So technically, you could go with like that. Develop a story about these elves that are trying to fight this disease of the street. I don't know. That would have been good, but then don't put the original characters in it, and then you had a good story. An original story that would not fuck up the goddamn lore too much. Would be fine.
Yeah.
Just don't make it like, all right, we're going to get Sauron in it. What are we going to do with him? We're going to make him look like why is he evil? Well, he got dumped. We're making Galadriel... what was that again? Oh, that was that bitch, right? Yeah, we're gonna make her the bitch. Unlikable piece of shit. Yep, definitely. And
also, here's the thing about that: they're probably not even gonna do it. They're probably not even gonna do it. They're definitely not gonna have. They don't have the balls to put Celebrimbor's body on a pole and use it as a flag. That is way too dark for this show.
I like the way how he died in Shadow of War. Just he gets murdered in front of his own wife. Yeah, that's the way to do it, man. Just get your wife murdered and you at the same time, and see yourself getting suffering. Yep, that's dark, but that's good.
It is dark, but it's inaccurate. He was actually in love with Galadriel.
Yeah, but at least, it makes it a little bit more better than, how he's treated here.
Well, according to
Oh,
one draft, who was in love with Galadriel, all of this stuff is from unpublished papers, so we don't know how it would have turned out. Like the entire Galadriel story, almost all of it is from unpublished
contradicts
essays.
itself.
I think
Yeah.
Warner Brothers should have made this movie or this series. I think that would make it better.
I don't know, since Warner Brothers owns HBO, and HBO just pitched remaking the Lord of the Rings films.
Yeah, true.
So I'm just like, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. I don't think that would have been good. Honestly,
No? Okay.
like they can't do any better than Jackson. Honestly, like that's my perspective. Like Jackson, pretty much.
For that.
Yeah. Yeah, it could have been worse. Yeah, it could have been the. Oh yeah, it could have been the Velaryon family wigs. Velaryon wigs are awful. Yeah.
Is that in the new Game of Thrones series? The absolutely fake wigs, then, right? Those ones, right?
Yeah. Getting murdered. Murdering your wife while you murder Sauron. All right. So Elrond is working with Celebrimbor to build this forge because. Okay, this doesn't make sense later because apparently we know it is a forge and they need more manpower to build it because somehow Gil-galad knows about Mithril and wants to make the elves last longer because apparently the elves are dying for some reason.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
they're dying because apparently the tree got infected by black sticky goo.
Apparently. So
yeah.
Well, that sounds kind of gross, to be fair.
So they decide to go to Khazad Doom to get the dwarves to help out, and
but it's a lame thing, you know. It's a lame thing. It's a really lame way of, you know, like mystery. Like, all right, we need to find a way to to just say that he had like, how do you say that? They just had to say like, there is this man that wants this forge to be built, and we need to make it building it now. Otherwise, he won't be able to use the magical substance in time because they are on a date. You know, they will be spoiled, and then, you know, the power will get lost. Maybe that would have been so much more better explanation than like, this tree is dying, therefore we need mithril, therefore we need the rings. It's like, the fuck. So you need iron to survive. Yeah, normally. Exactly.
The tree was pretty, though.
It's a pretty tree, but it's a stupid fucking storyline. It's a stupid side story. Like, here's a side quest that does absolutely nothing, but it's a side quest nonetheless. Go fetch.
It's confusing. It's kind of confusing too.
Exactly.
Very confusing. Also, here's the thing: why get the dwarves to do this anyway? Elves are far better than dwarves anyway, and this is why I said last time during the last stream.
Dwarves suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bleep you, dwarves.
Technically, you could consider, you know, the elves being like semi-Renaissance, and then, you know, you have the dwarves that are like medieval time. Let's go. Oh, mining. Oh, why would you do that? Why would you disturb the mining operations? Well, you know, you need a big forge. You have magic magic elves that can do magic, but they cannot do magic in this story. No, only the Powerpuff Girls can do that. So don't worry about that. But yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Fucking only female elves can do power. Fuck off.
And then they have the whole rock smack. Oh, okay. Now we get to the part where some shipwreck victims, and you meet Sauron is a pair. I don't care. Like, let's just talk about this as if you've seen the show, but probably a lot of you have just not watched it and don't care. But apparently, Sauron's just out in the middle of nowhere doing but nothing.
Oh, but no. Galadriel and Sauron, they were drawn to one another, you see. And it was just by happenstance they just came across one another.
I thought Sauron was literally waiting on this piece of shipwreck just to wait for Galadriel to come in and be like, "I have been expecting you." Because that's literally what he says in the last episode. This was my plan all along. I have been waiting on that ship for ages just to save your ass, to make sure that you are compliant.
Wouldn't it be a ride if Sauron had just hanging out there for several millennia, all this time?
Exactly. I'm like, the fuck?
1,000 beers are on the way.
And
oh yeah, and he's singing like sea shanties the whole time too. And
1,000 bottles of beer on the wall, 1,000 bottles of beer.
And that's like
music a little bit.
And every time Galadriel is like, "Wait, that's not right." "Yes, the sea is always right, Galadriel.
oh,
There is no wrong. The
Oh.
sea is always right." Jeez. This show is so terrible.
Yeah.
It makes great memes, but holy shit. The sea is always right. What? Yes, the sea is always right. But I just wanted to ask you a question about doubting your superiors. But the sea is always right. No. Ask the sea
The
then.
sea's contaminated with toxic waste. The sea is always right.
No. Just imagine, a shipwreck, and it'd be like, "Oh, great ship in the waters. What is your wisdom for today?" "The sea is always right." "Thank you, great ship. I will inform the greater council."
Well, that's the Titanic in the lake.
No, you know that meme with the panzer in the lake. That's how I imagine. The sea is always right.
the only answer I have about that is this.
Oh God.
Yeah.
In every possible meaning of the word, nothing about this show makes sense. It's pure bullshit. It's a kind of.
Yeah.
I need to clip that.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And it's just, he said, one of the first lines he says is, "Looks can be deceiving." Problem is,
Hi, Sauron.
yeah, everybody predicted that this would be Sauron, even people who hadn't read the freaking leaks.
Wait,
Sauron?
No.
Yes, because looks can be deceiving.
Oh no, I can
we
just
guessed
better.
pretty.
His tone was subtle.
Yeah,
There's-
we guessed really early on. Really early
he's-
on.
Yeah.
He's not even Tyler, so he looks like Greg Sestero.
No.
Looks like Mark from The Room.
No, but at least Tom was still be entertaining. "I'm not Sauron. Looks can be deceiving. I'm not him. I swear, and I'm not Sauron. Looks can be deceiving." Oh, hi, Galadriel.
Oh, so
Hello, Galadriel. You want to go into my pants as well?
this
What?
is the guy I'm talking about.
Oh my God, you're right.
He looks pretty evil, doesn't he?
See, he looks like Greg Sestero.
He does.
Oh my God, looks can indeed be deceiving. Woo.
He looks like Mark from The Room.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. You also here?
Oh, I should have done that during the stream. When we were watching this. It's like, "Oh, hi, Mark."
Hello, Mark. Hello there.
Oh.
General Cano. Now, General.
Anyway, how is your sex life?
Weren't you terrified when that chap first turned up?
No,
No.
You're very brave.
not
And
really.
stunning.
Ha. Ha.
Oh, the
Ah.
article with the show. These guys are
no,
maniacs.
Yes.
These people are
Yes.
so
Just don't.
stupid.
Just don't. Just don't.
Bring it up for the
And
audience
quit
to know.
mentioning the room. Dang it!
It's the
No,
goddamn
because
broom,
it's
baby.
funny.
It's funnier than anything in this show.
Indeed.
That's true. Doesn't it only has some? It only has some good jokes like, "Give me the meat and give me it raw."
So,
You don't think-
Dylan, you want
you don't-
me to be in your pants? Is that what you're saying?
You don't think, you don't find, you have not seen what I have seen funny?
Well,
No.
you know,
As a memeable,
it
yes.
is not as funny as dual wielding pansexual raccoons.
Well, that's true, but still.
Do it. I demand the article. Which one? Okay, which? Never. The room
Demand
is
the
a
article. We must get the
let's see,
article.
where's
There's a
that
masterpiece.
article?
Because apparently they want
Internet.
people to
Show
write,
me the way.
apparently.
Dana McKay interview. Which one is it? Well, which one? They've done a lot of interviews and most of them suck.
You know how many that narrows it down?
Let me see. I know Desparo did a video. Desparo's actually pretty cool. I like Desparo.
I do too.
Yeah.
He's also Cockney accent. He has a really good British accent.
A Cockney accent? Oh my boy.
British accent. There's a difference between the Cockney and the British.
I have no idea what kind of accents they all are. For me, they are all Scottish.
Yeah, which article are you specifically referring to? Is the question. Are you referring to? There's apparently the official podcast.
I have it
what
here
is it?
where they're
There's
talking
like the
about
official
Sauron
podcast for
Mythos.
Lord of the Rings, and it's Sauron.
What?
And
What?
okay.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I repeat,
Apparently-
bots. They're liking your sister. Please report them.
Oh, the bots. No.
Not the bots. Not the bots. Ah,
Get out.
thank God. Phew. That's over.
That's the true evil of Sauron. He sent the bots
Yes.
from
They knew that they
Gundabach.
were talking about this. And now they're having their way.
Yeah.
Well, at least they were just making fun of Dunn's sister, so it's not that bad.
No, it's
Nice
actually a hot
bot
photo
wiper.
of my sister.
Yes, indeed. It's bot wipeout. All right, so
Yeah.
so we have the swimming pool, and then you see all these bots running around getting electrocuted when they jump in the water or fall in the water.
Yeah.
I thought that was Amazon.
And then kind of just
Oh,
and then we just have Durin and
rock,
Elrond
rock.
smashing rocks.
Remember that rocks sink and ships float.
And then we
Yep.
have like so the
Okay.
Disa the character is perfectly fine.
Yes.
She seems like a nice character. The actress who plays her is either exceptionally vapid, or she's an idiot, or just plain an idiot, or she's a bad
Who?
person.
Who?
The actress
All
playing
of the above.
Disa, Sophia
But isn't
Numbed.
she? Doesn't she turn evil? Like the
She
last
does get
episode?
power hungry later. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Which ruins her character, but
Yeah.
it's gone with the show, really. So not really saying much, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, yeah. And here's the thing: she was on an interview as well. It was in an article or an interview. I can't remember which. But apparently, she can't watch the Lord of the Rings without her representation exactly, which is entirely racist.
Yeah, she is pretty racist.
Yeah.
Well, if that's true, that's kind of stupid, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I just think that like she believes that this is a redress of balance, which is
Quote unquote.
dumb.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's good that it's good that they're including people of more races in this film, this show.
Especially when you have a whole story about almost only European culture.
Well, I mean,
they should have gone for that stupid land that Mordor hired those hirelings. I don't know which one, the mercenary groups.
Oh, the Sarfons?
Yeah, that would be an awesome place for you to have some multicultural people in it. But,
it seems a little silly when you've got like elves, dwarves, humans, people are a lot more different from each other than blacks and whites are to complain about there being blacks and whites in it.
Well, I don't necessarily have any complaints. I just am completely ambivalent. I legitimately do not care. The main thing my assessment is of her as a person that she is an idiot. As a human being, she is an idiot.
Yep.
Well,
that also plays her way of how she talked in the conversations.
Or she said stupid things at an interview. To be fair, we've all said stupid things.
It doesn't seem like she's considered any. Like she should have a measure of self-awareness and not state things that are blatantly untrue. Like she's the first female dwarf to ever appear on screen.
No, the hobbits beat you to it, lady.
I don't actually remember. To be fair, I don't actually remember any female dwarves prior to her. To be fair,
granted, it is
they're
like
not
a blink and you miss it kind of thing.
They're side characters that don't have any plot relevance.
Yeah.
Do they actually say anything?
No, they don't. They're just there as part of the background during it. Kind of, well, not even background. Like they're just kind of extras in the set of during the prologue of Erebor.
Oh, then I'd cut her some slack then. For that part, at least.
Maybe. Well, no,
maybe.
Don't, I still think about the dial-up, and they do say one thing. Oh my god, we're dying! Oh my god!
Yeah, I just think that she's like, I just think that like her considering this is a big reduction of balance is like, okay, you're ridiculous. Like I can't take you seriously, and just I don't. And it's just clearly the problem is kind of a similar problem to Disney where the HR department is running the whole company and are a bunch of morons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I know that problem.
Okay.
We fully supported this, but we didn't read anything. Nope.
I have the article, yes. We'll get to that in a bit. Let's kind of quickly go through. So we have this whole bit of talking with the elves.
What are you tying that rope to, Galadriel?
Well, we have the whole... Finally, they managed...
What, are we done with the dwarves already?
Apparently Elrond is banished after... No, we're not. I almost forgot about the fact that Elrond should be banished after losing, but apparently he gets to stay for dinner. He gets absolved from getting banished or something.
Yep.
Well, that's because the dwarves are nice.
And apparently they don't care about tradition.
That's not how dwarves work. That's not how dwarves work.
They don't care about their laws.
Absolutely
they don't care about laws or anything.
Maybe it wasn't a law. Maybe it was just a joke. You're banished, Sigh.
Well, the main thing she does with the robe is that she gets intertwined with it, and then suddenly she falls overboard by it. It's plot relevance. Only because she was tying the rope, she fell down. Duh.
Okay, now we're back. Okay, now we're back with Galadriel and Sauron, and they're having their steamy love affair.
We need to tie the boat. The wind is destroying. Grab the
Okay, they're
rope.
not having the love affair yet. Okay.
And then she falls down
What
like,
love affair?
"Wah!" And then,
Ooh,
and
that
then
lighting
Sauron
is
is like,
really bright. Ooh, this is some CGI they have here.
They actually, this is a tank, actually.
Yeah.
They didn't, this isn't a...
What about the lighting stuff?
I think even the lighting stuff is actually semi-practical. I think it's some of it is CGI. But
this is
mostly,
so
like,
stupid. This is so stupid. You don't see her getting entangled and dragged down into the water.
No,
If you
you
look,
don't, actually. You're right.
yeah. So she's like, I am floating, bloop, bloop.
And she
I am
turned into-
submarine.
It turned into an octopus too. Wouldn't it be right if Galadriel spent the entire rest of the show as an octopus?
Yep.
that would be hilarious.
Who lives deep under the sea? Galadriel.
And then she gets rescued by Sauron. And then
This is a romantic moment in the story.
and then they get rescued by Numenor, which was obvious.
Ugh.
Then we have the start of the Numenor plot, the biggest waste of time in the show,
Yay.
or the second biggest waste of time in the show.
But
Oh,
it
you mean
looked
Macho
pretty.
Man Land? Macho Man.
It looked pretty.
With terrible armor.
Everything in the show looks pretty. That's the problem. Nothing has substance.
What substance?
Just consume product.
Just consume product and get excited for next product.
Exactly.
Oh, hell no, no socks.
I want to spend money on something too. It's a pity that I didn't pay to watch this show.
It's just a real shame that I found somewhere on the internet that it was all for free, and I was like, all right, I'll take it.
This is a
I
tragic.
watched
This is a tragic moment in the story.
I don't know. I watched it for free, and I was still disappointed.
That's really tragic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Watching it for free and still saying, I want my money back. I want my time
I
back.
paid it for free. I still want my money back.
So sue Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Well, it's just he's kind of hot, but let's be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed, Tyler. It is indeed a very smart idea.
Pips.
Indeed, a very smart idea to make Sauron the main romantic lead.
Because that's a great idea.
Well, they did it. That was the main problem. They fucking
I
did
know.
it.
They kind of did.
Yeah, they did it. And then Galadriel was like, I don't need a man. I am gay now. That's why I'm now Galadriel.
All I need
And
is
then
my
he's like,
mountain.
how dare you? How dare you not want to be engaged with me? How dare you don't want to ruin? Fine, I will make my own kingdom with my own orcs. Come with me. Goodbye. This negotiation is over. Ah.
And
Blackjack
Yeah.
hookers.
he turned evil because she dissed him. This
No, he turned evil because he got dumped.
exactly.
After
She
being-
dissed him.
After being probably the more reasonable people in the show.
Exactly.
Everybody
idea
else
was-
in the show is a raging Karen.
Yeah.
He was more
Especially
reasonable
the
for
women.
everybody.
Especially the women in
Oh,
this show. They're
especially the
a
women.
bunch of, yeah, the women in this show are raging Karens for the most part.
Yeah.
Oh, remember
Well-
that she wanted to. Remember that Gabriel was planning on that map, and he was like, "But you don't need to do that." But he was like, "Bitch, I'm a commander. I know everything."
The dwarves aren't too bad.
The dwarves were dwarves.
Well, that's because Diza
You
only
don't-
gets
you cannot
evil.
get wrong with
like
that.
she only gets kind of evil at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She-
dwarves
Yeah,
are hard to
kinda.
get wrong. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Nora wasn't too bad, so I guess she's probably not really a
So-
hard. Probably
The
revealed.
Fellowship of the Karens.
She'll probably be revealed at the end that she's not actually a nobbit at all.
True.
Maybe she's Sauron's daughter.
Great. You know, yeah. Apparently, hasn't got laid since for in hundreds of years. So, I guess she's suffering from serious sex withdrawal or something.
She
Well,
needs to become the Lade Riel. Get it? Get it? Get it?
Well, in this show, she is like, you have that scaling of hot and crazy, and she crosses the line indefinitely.
Get Ladriel.
What line? With her, there's no line. It's literally she's just there as the crazy, unhinged binge.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you don't stick things in craziness.
Well, someone did.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
Sauron has a hot surfer look going on
This is
here.
gonna be like, Twilight. Like, she had sex with him, and therefore she gonna get his baby in season
God.
2. Imagine the rage. Oh my god.
Christ almighty.
I didn't know that I could make it worse. Oh my
You're
god.
not wrong, unfortunately. You are not wrong.
No,
I
it's a
can-
space chunk. I'm not sure what he's saying. No, too, but maybe the whole boiling. I don't know.
No. You need to say it like Dark Vader. No.
No.
And then smack the lightsaber around. Like, I'm not helping here. Well, neither am I.
Celebrian becomes Sauron's daughter. So what you're saying is Celebrian. So what you're saying is that Sauron cucked Celeborn.
That's why he's dead. He's been dead all this time because Galadriel murdered him so that she could get together with her one true love.
She
This is so dumb.
Hey, the show has not yet disappointed me in being dumber than this, alright?
Simp of the Rings.
No. It's gonna be Ring Island, like that dating television series where you have like all these people that are trying to date Galadriel, like. So,
oh no!
the
Trip
cruise ship, Love Cruise or what it is.
No! Comment.
Well played,
Kill it.
Trip.
Kill it, Dad.
But Valerian should have spelled it up again.
She'll just what up again?
No,
Build it
building
up.
up again.
No, really no comment. Yikes. The fall of Bora just had a revolting significance.
Oh. So anyway.
Oh yeah, here she's speaking to to the queen, and she's like, "I demand this southern part of the dead. I am the truth."
After she
Let's get
gets,
to the.
yeah, go
Make
for it.
sure
Sorry.
we get to the bit where she says the everything to the elves, or whatever it is.
This bit's hilarious. She's saying, "I'll kill anybody I need to get back to Middle Earth."
Yep.
Yep.
That's some kind of.
And
That's
Sauron
not,
is like, "Bitch, the fuck? There
That's
goes my
not-
plan."
that's not how hitchhiking works.
I know, right?
Possibly.
I know you.
This is a touching moment in the story, by the way.
Yeah,
Touching moment when Sauron is actually smarter than her. Yeah, I know.
which is it's actually hilarious because it was so obvious. Like Dragon Demands called this so remarkably early. It's hilarious.
Go back a little bit. Our ancestors were not given anything. It was because of the elves that you were given this island. That's the bit I'm referring to.
Yeah, which is like, that's a lie.
Only because the elves were losing the war against Morgoth that the men were helping them with.
Exactly.
And the men got it as a reward for helping. What the elves didn't give it to them.
Also, the elves didn't give it to them. It was the Valor that gave it to them.
It's easy to get confused, mind you. The elves, especially if they got the ego of an elf.
Apparently. Which, Galadriel should have an ego, but she shouldn't really come off like this. That's the major problem with Galadriel as a character. She doesn't come off like a confident queen like she should. She comes off as crazy Karen who's demanding to speak to the manager.
So maybe Galadriel was one of what's that chap's name? Spaced Oyster's customers. You remember when I was in general? Oh, you probably didn't see that. I was in general rant and used to complain a lot.
That guy is so good. The guy that they took their jobs.
Yeah, they took their jobs. They took our jobs. Guy is right there. Yeah,
that is very weird because
there's only one elf in the whole fucking island, but apparently she took our jobs.
It's also extremely on the nose.
I know.
It's so ridiculously on the nose. It's just like, this is a little bit too close. Like, dude, you're like, pick something a little bit less specific than they took our jobs. You're really dating the show.
Well, I mean, to be fair, took our jobs is something that people have been complaining about for decades. So it's the kind of thing that people.
Yeah, but he is
complaining about. I'm talking, please.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Blaine first. Yeah.
They've been talking about that for decades. They will be talking about it for further decades. So it's and there'll be people long after we're dead probably who are saying they took our jobs. But the real problem is that no matter what it refers to, it's still banal.
But he refers to the elves. He literally says in his speech, the elves took his job.
It's because it's a prevalent meme that's been going on for a few years now, and it's actually
no, you're right. You're right the first time. It has been for decades.
Yeah, well, it's been around for decades, but specifically, it has come to major prominence in the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing is that the main argument, it's all about immortality, and they want to take immortality from the elves in the lore, and that's a much grander. That has more depth to it as a theme.
Yes,
exactly. Not to mention what elves are taking jobs. I mean, I know that
Yeah, but at least show some elves in the village if you were saying that you're taking their jobs.
I mean, if they'd said that the elves were a secret cabal, if they'd gone that route, not to be.
They should have shown elves being far better at everything than the humans in that city. Because that way it makes sense.
Valerian first.
Oh.
Johan.
Sorry. If they've made the elves if they done the thing like the people used to say about the Jews are taking over or all this stuff, it's a secret cabal that are taking over. At least you could sort of. It'd be really stupid still, but at least you could sort of make a case. But they took our jobs.
Yeah, it's just that it's it doesn't feel timeless. It feels locked down to a very modern perspective, and specifically to the very, very topical political argument that's been happening that has come to prominence over the past few years.
What they could have done. Oh.
And it's just they decided to change it deliberately to this from what it was in the source material, and that just comes off as just you're deliberately changing this to insert political allegory into it, and it's really transparent and frustrating.
Yep.
What they could have done is actually, make it like this guy going to a cult, For instance, they could have gone making it a cult that hates elves and saying there is an elf at our shores. We must get rid of her before she influenced the people here. And then you have an excellent thing, literally a boat blowing up. And then that's supposed to be a guy and then it detonates instead of her being on the ship. So yeah, you have people that are hating elves, and then you have the hatred in of having elves in the city, and that makes it far better because then it makes believable because the queen says to the king there is an elf at our shore. But we cannot show any respect towards her because, our people have hatred towards it. Yes, then it makes more sense. And then this guy would have a better role.
But, Johan, this is the thing. This is the thing you're forgetting here. That requires effort on the showrunners.
I know, which is frustrates me.
That is actually a really funny comparison. Well,
he looks like it.
He does kind of look like Karl Marx. He looks like a tin ringer from Karl Marx.
Well, he has the same hairstyle. He does have the same hairstyle.
Yeah.
I am totally not even. Now let me stroke my evil beard.
But yeah, it's just. I think the scene as its own doesn't make sense, but it just kind of this is just ham-fist. It just felt utterly ham-fisted.
I didn't actually see this part, but when I heard about it, I thought, "Oh, that's kind of lame compared with."
It is
immortality.
Sometimes monarchy does need some bit of communism.
So you were saying, Valerian? Sorry.
Only that compared with the theme of the quest for immortality, it seems a little lame. So what are they going to do when they come to the bit where they send their fleet to the Undying Lands? Are they going to say it's because the elves are taking their jobs? And they're gonna unless the elves stop their trade war with us, we're gonna invade Valinor unless you stop your trade war.
Apparently,
stop trying to undersell us.
Because it's just why would it's just you deliberately choose to do this? Why on earth would you do something that A is lame, B has kind of immediate associations in a lot of the minds of the audience, and will make people make fun of you. You are inviting people to meme your show when you do that. It's so stupid. Why would you do that? It's so dumb. It's like the memes write themselves. The elves took your germs.
But the worst thing is, even if they would have waged a war against the elves, they would have lost because they only have 3 ships. They can apparently carry 200 horses.
So basically, Valinor is Mexico?
Yeah, probably.
I don't think Valinor is Mexico so much as Middle Earth is Mexico.
No, but Southlands is. Given what happened to it.
I mean, in terms of the elves taking our jobs, they're... the whole thing about the immigrants are taking our jobs, that kind of parallel.
It doesn't even make sense because it's just one freaking elf.
Yeah, but she's going to single-handedly take all their jobs, though.
Well, she is a Mary Sue after all.
Wouldn't it be right if she did, and the next scene she was shown doing her? There were a whole bunch of
that would have been hilarious, showing off her skills, being better at everything else, like smithing, leatherworking, papers, and then being like people getting pissed off about it, and then gathering up into the crowd like, yeah, she's way too good for this place. She needs to be back.
There were like a whole bunch of unemployed Numenorians hanging around on the dole and stuff, and she's doing like all the jobs, like every single job. People go to a shop and she's there. She's like the clerk, and then the next place you go, she's doing something.
Look how dead she looks in this scene. Like she has like no beauty at all. It's like she is a skeleton of her former self.
Yeah. Also,
no prettiness.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem is just Morpher Clark was very badly miscast for this show. It doesn't really help that from what I've observed, it takes a rare kind of actress to pull off the attitude that they're trying to give to Galadriel. It's a crappily written character, and she's exceptionally unappealing as a person, but you can make cocky and abrasive females likable as protagonists. But as she is, Morford Clark doesn't do the role any favors any more than the writing. It's basically just she's not good. She's like her and this material are both of equivalent quality, unfortunately, and it just kind of combines to a whole mess of awful.
I also hated the musical fighting scene.
God. The training bit. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Training montage.
What montage? It was just flailing about.
No, it was a montage. It was like
a montage that you're learning something. She was not learning something.
Well, she's not even training. She's trying to train the other guy, the soldiers, and. So then we have Isildur, and Isildur has been pretty thoroughly ruined. He's basically an aimless millennial, as the actor who, just the descriptions are basically of even just in interviews, how they described him as he's an aimless millennial, essentially. That's who he is.
Oh, right. Kylildor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kylildor.
Kylildor?
I'm trying to combine Kylo Ren with Isildur somehow.
I thought he was more of this dude who was way too stoned on mushrooms, but okay.
I don't know about you guys, says Lady Balefire, but I was bummed that Galadriel and Sauron didn't bang.
That would have been so funny.
Oh, that's the true origin of Mount Doom.
Yeah, the true origin of Mount Doom. The explosion happened because
Mount Doom. That's amazing.
The explosion of Mount Doom happened because the elves committed a sin.
They made her act like a cocky and abrasive alpha male, says Trip Lady.
Yeah, women don't generally display those kinds of traits in that similar way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, maybe granted, they're like women and women, so maybe she was the sort who did. So, like, maybe cut them some slack there, but still, yeah.
It's like, well, it's just. It seems she seems extremely stiff.
She's pretty stiff.
Yeah, she is extremely. It doesn't seem like. It seems as though it's really hard to find actresses that are able to pull off that kind of performance. I think Charlize Theron is a good example. Yeah. I don't know why they hired an intimacy coordinator for this show.
You gotta make it look cute and cute.
Well, no, you don't really hire an intimacy coordinator. You hire an intimacy coordinator because you want to make sure that everybody is comfortable during sex scenes and that sort of thing. Which is odd because this show didn't have anything, had one kiss. And that was it.
They're saving up for next season.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be $1 million of a kiss, just because of this coordinator. Amazing.
Sex. I mean, the sex scene and second season both have S's in them.
Yeah, but also senseless. Also.
Well, I never said there would be any sense to them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Radiated confidence and authority, not being a dick. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, it's
So
just
Peter
unfortunate.
Jackson's films then, Trip.
Yeah. But after that, we have this whole "the sea is always right," which is one of the dumbest lines and concepts I have ever heard.
What was that again?
The sea is always right. And
what does
it's
that
like
even?
A cult George.
What does that mean?
No idea. It's just in the show.
It sounds deep, though.
Really? The actress that she got a trauma for the fight scene because Sauerbrand touched her. Lol.
That's probably it. I don't think that actually happened.
That's probably something he made up for purposes of this live stream.
Comedy, yeah.
Okay, that's okay. Isildur is still being the aimless millennial, I gather.
Then they repeat, the faithful believe. It's kind of the rough thing is the show is kind of relying on you to already know about the lore in order to fill in things. But the thing is, the people who know the lore, I haven't seen any people who really know the lore like the show.
The C equals. Don't mention that. No comment. Don't highlight that one. No, I said not to.
Yeah.
You're very disobedient, young man. I told you not to.
I don't care.
Guys,
it's Stitch McGee! Oh my god, it's Stitch McGee!
Oh, I like the tree though. I do like the tree.
Yeah, the tree is one of the. Yeah, the tree is the least dumb thing.
It's the best character so far.
The tree is the best thing in the show.
Yeah.
And this guy is also decent.
Yeah, the guy playing Elendil is the only good actor in the show.
Elendil, yeah, he's okay. I don't. For some reason, I don't see Elendil looking like that, but I don't really. Whatever.
I think he's fit. I actually don't have any problems. Fine. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, I think he's a good actor, and he towers over everybody else, so that's something. I just think most of his dialogue sucks.
Well, hey.
You know the worst thing about it? Oh my god, no.
No, not the goblin scene.
Not the horse. Not the horny horse.
We're talking about the orcs. We're skipping it.
No, I,
No,
could-
no,
I,
the
I
goblin
was thinking
face,
about the
I mean.
horny horse, but okay.
What? That's an
Where
actual
she's
thing. Are
smiling
you?
in the wind.
What? It's real?
That's real. That's
What the-
actually real.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. I
Is-
didn't-
Okay.
We're gonna have to. Yeah, I mean that would have to be verified, but that's
It is-
well. I mean, hey, whatever. Maybe she had some unpleasant experience earlier in life or something. I don't know. Trip. I really like her headdress without the wings. It looks very Egyptian to me. Yeah, it looked kind of cool.
Apparently, it's actually accurate.
Ah.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
You've got a problem because you're used to being attacked on film. I would flinch a lot when people came at me. So they did exposure therapy with me. So with huge men running at me screaming with swords. It taught me from looking frightened. Well, yeah, I guess that could be scary.
Yeah.
The chefs must have been acting very well.
I guess
So that's why it's looking like a fucking musical scene, because they could not swing the sword like.
I need
like-
therapy.
I mean, I can't see going to therapy for that, but then
If
I've never been an actress.
if I was the director, I would have already fired her, because I cannot do with just a person that brings so much trouble to the. You just have to reshoot everything. Every single time, every fight scene, you need to reshoot it, or don't make a fight scene, or make a stunt double do the thing, and that would actually make more sense. Just just get a stunt double.
Yeah, I just that is actually kind of that's just like it's fake.
Exactly.
Like you're acting
Traumatizing.
in a movie.
So she gets PTSD because of the goddamn fighting scenes. Wow. Wow.
Which she was doing fine in, mind you.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the overswings? It's like, I'm gonna hit you. Oh, almost there. Oh, I missed. Dumb me.
Oh, you still
And then
went
you
long.
get stabbed in the chest.
Oh, wow, you still went long.
I think Dunn is gonna pay. Last time I did, so.
What can you do? Well, then we have the whole. There was a theory that that Elendil and Galadriel were going to have an affair. I'm glad that turned out to be not real.
Yeah.
I would not have put it past the show to do something that stupid, but I am glad that they did not actually do it, and because I'm just like, no, that is stupid. Don't do that, you morons.
But they almost pressed the button. They almost pressed it.
They almost did. It was so annoying.
You're not hated by all, my lady. Axe to doubt on that one.
No, show the face, Done. Show her goblin face when she's riding the horse.
Oh, yeah.
The goblin face.
The horny horse. The horny horse. Slow motion. It's a horse on a slow
Yeah,
motion.
Zack Snyder film. Because
why is it?
That's the most forced smile ever.
That's the most orcish face I've ever seen in my life.
Did she get hit by something that her skin is not full? That she has some red near her skin? Did she get burned?
I know. What even is this?
This is very simply And a travesty.
Yes. Not a travesty. It's disaster. It's a disaster. This is literally a disaster.
Sauron is going to be Aragorn's grandpa-in-law.
Looks like an intro for a condom commercial. Yep. Sums it up.
Mentos.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Hey, Don, eat your Snicker. You're not supposed to be who you are.
No, it has to be a Kit Kat because this is advertising the Rings of Power, apparently.
Ah, yeah, have a Kit Kat so that you won't be so kitty catty anymore.
Yeah. Then they have. Then they have
Oh, no.
the discussion with Sauron talking to the guild guy.
Sauron's going to be Aragorn's grandpa-in-law. Oh, it gets worse too. It looks like the intro to a. Oh no! Don't no! Stop it! Kill it! Kill it!
Oh yeah, Sauron
Kill
tried
it!
to
Kill
do
it!
something
Kill
about
it! Kill it! Kill it! Dead! Kill it!
That's
Kill it.
amazing. I love it. It's so funny.
Kill it! Kill it!
Oh,
Kill it, Dad.
funny. That's so freaking hilarious. So basically, it's going to be. So this is the equivalent of. Because it's as though. So just. It seems like Sauron just uses this as a means of just getting in with these guys, trying to forge something, because he's just doing his own thing. No idea why. I have no idea. It doesn't make the remotest bit of sense. And he just buys them all drinks. So apparently, like, Numenorians are just chronic drunkards or something?
Sauron's a really nice guy.
Well, here's the thing. He hasn't got any money on him. So how is he able to buy all the ale?
He just magicked it.
He probably
because he's
stole
Sauron.
it.
He's got
He probably
power.
stole it.
He's got powers.
He's a petty thief, remember?
Put the tower in the red eye.
There was no eye when Sauron came.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you what people used to say about Sauron's eye in the films. You probably know it already, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of.
Three sizes: Harfa, Isildur, and Galadriel. Oh no!
And then
Oh no!
Oh,
go to
no.
Galadriel's the biggest one. And then
No
he
comment!
and then he just takes him down because he has super strength or something.
Sauron,
He goes all John Wick.
Sauron does look kind of like a hobo, doesn't he?
He does. And then for whatever reason, apparently they find out that the symbol of Sauron that he carved into Galadriel's brother's flesh,
Is a
probably
map.
after he raped him, was apparently a map of Mordor.
Well, that's useful.
Oh my god! So Galadriel is actually just Dora. I see. She followed the map. She
Dora
asked about
the
that.
Explorer. Boots and super cool Exploradora.
Well, since she is already from Mexico, so you know.
That's true, actually, yeah.
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 So, and then skip a lot. We go to
She got to
apparently.
college.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is the
Nope,
bit where
gone to
Isildur.
college.
Oh, Isildur the Klutz. Okay, fair enough.
Not quite to Isildur the Klutz. We just get to Isildur is saying, I don't want to live my life like you want me to live it, Dad.
So he's back to being a millennial, but then afterwards he turns into a bit of a klutz, or else just disaster prone.
Yeah.
Disasters happen around him. Whenever he turns up, there's a disaster happens.
Which is weird because he's actually not responsible for the disaster, and our Farazan's idiot son was trying to burn the ships because his crush wanted to make it so that they didn't go to Middle Earth.
But no one knows who I almost said Sauron's son. Or Farazan's son is.
Well, he was in the scene.
I know. I just don't remember him because he's not in the lore. So I remember. I do remember. I think I do remember him actually. I remember what he looked like, but I don't remember. But
yeah, he's just
it gets confusing.
And then apparently Sauron has this weird master plan that he's apparently masquerading as the king of the Southlands.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well.
I almost forgot about like when the peasants see him, it's like he's our king. All right, we have a king.
And that was much rejoicing. Yay!
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's like, oh, this is Aragorn. No, it's Sauron. No, it's Aragorn. Ooh, mystery boxes. Exactly. That's what happened when you when people you show it to.
Mm-hmm. I took it off a dead man. Like it's portraying it like it's this whole thing, but in reality, and then he's just a dude. It seems, and it's just so annoying. It is so freaking annoying.
He doesn't have. If he doesn't have menace, he should have a certain charm.
But
I don't mean rugged charm either.
It should be sophisticated.
Yes. Yeah.
But
at least that's how I would have done it.
Oh, and you and every other sane person on the frickin' planet.
Yeah, I mean that's how I would imagine. You know, it being very suave and sophisticated, and
yeah,
because he's supposed to seduce. At this point, he's supposed to be seducing people, but apparently he's seducing them by being Joe Sixpack. That's how he seduces. Well, I guess that could work.
It could work. It's just ridiculous.
It just. I mean, maybe Galadriel likes that type.
So here, else mate.
Oh, Trip says that. Sorry to interrupt you. Trip says the James Bond of Middle Earth. Oh yeah.
No.
I am Sauron. I am Saruman.
All right, let's keep going. But yeah, that's our Farazan's son, and we've talked about we talked about that they took our jobs bit.
Yeah, we had a riot with elf lover. I didn't even elf lover.
It's ridiculous.
What is this show?
You're an elf lover.
How dare you be an elf lover, you
Is it
douche?
when she says, "There's a tempest in me"?
Sauron really is an elf lover.
Yeah. Yeah. So she tries to convince Tarmiriel to go to Middle Earth, and with an army to kill a bunch of things in a war that she really shouldn't care about, because they're Morgoth worshippers and descendants of Morgoth worshippers who seem to want Morgoth to come back by all accounts, and don't seem like they're worth rescuing for the most part. And then when Tarmiriel rightly says, "Sod off, you have no proof," Like, yeah, she talks about matters you do not understand. This is true. This is extremely accurate. Should grasping at a hold in a tempest. And
there is a tempest in me.
you know what? We need to hear that amazing dialogue. So let me kind of turn on the audio.
We do.
And put it at regular speed. So
You speak out of your people, or are you a castaway, grasping for a handhold in a tempest? There is a tempest in me. This island for a reason. It will not be quelled by you, Regent.
Okay, bitch.
Get wrecked.
I mean, to be fair, this is probably the best, it's one of the best highlight of this show, probably. Just Galadriel getting her comeuppance.
Wouldn't it be right if that were the end of the show?
Actually, that would be very fitting.
oh my god.
Oh, Trip, I am by you, Christ. Oh.
And then joining a shower in his big round.
Oh my. Oh, never change, Trip. Never change. Well played, Junk. Well played. Oh.
Oh my gosh. But somehow, through a series of BS, she managed to convince it. But before we do that, you have an okay-ish scene, I guess, of Elrond talking with Celebrimbor about how the smithing. Oh yeah, the smithing is doing very well. By the way, it's going extremely well. It's best thing ever. And then we did have the Mithril reveal earlier, or at least like the Mithril mystery box, literal mystery box, where
quite literally, it's in a box. Quite literally.
Yeah, it's both a ripoff of everything J.J. Abrams has done, and also Pulp Fiction.
Oh, is this like the main plot?
Apparently, yes.
Okay, yeah, I remember that now. It lasted like 10 minutes, if I remember correctly.
So then we have the whole bit of Elrond finally finding out after some really, really lame discussion that apparently they have this super metal that also turns out to be the reason that Gil-galad wanted him to go down there, because of a myth that this could be used to restore the lives and immortality of the elves, and it turns out to be true.
Oh no. Can I interrupt for 1 second?
Go for it.
For the chat, I can now imagine a black and white perfume ad where someone is touching naked Galadriel in slow motion.
Okay,
Wow.
let's keep going.
And yes, that is my steamy hot voice.
No. Kill it with fire.
Indeed.
You're welcome.
Don't mention it.
Then Galadriel breaks out of prison, which is dumb.
Oh, no. Maybe put the sound for this one, because this is just
stupid.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Which bit are you referring to?
No, just put for this one.
Door cracks, shuts.
Going. I wouldn't advise that. I can't very well let her leave. You could.
So,
if you knew exactly where she was going.
Wouldn't it be right if she was actually just going to the restroom?
Yeah. You just open the door and close the door, and then suddenly the door is locked.
So
Not to be indecent or anything.
Yeah.
then she talks with Tyr Muriel and apparently convinces her to side with her.
So she escaped somehow?
Yeah, she escaped. And then she convinces Tyr Muriel to join with her, which she does.
After
and then
bringing her to
there's
her father's house.
Yeah, and there's a whole thing of she gets sent off and then sent back.
I like the water.
Yeah, it's very good computer graphics. It's very, very nice.
Yes.
So I think then after that, we do have a bit where Elrond and Durin, Elrond, and a few others are told that they are not to mine the mithril because it's too dangerous. The king of the dwarves is a little bit pissed, rightly so, because this is dumb. And then in the next episode, Elrond finds out that apparently he's been trying to swindle the dwarves out of their mithril, or at least make a deal for it. It's really, really stupid, and it's a massive.
I'm sorry. Who's swindling the dwarves?
The elves are trying to get Elrond to break his oath about the mithril. So because supposedly they can they want to make him be immortal still, because mithril acts as an immortality juice, I guess.
I remember something weird to that effect.
You know what the worst thing is about you showing me this all?
So not much happens plot-wise in this, other than we see an absolutely stupid and awful, badly choreographed fight scene because the people working at Amazon are incompetent.
Wouldn't it be right if the people who were working on the show were actually delivery drivers and they were just doing this in their spare time?
I would believe that.
I would also agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bit comes later. The horses that travel hundreds of leagues in a day. That's the bit that comes. That's also part of that whole stupid fight episode.
The worst thing is, the more you show me this, the more I'm like, I remember every fucking scene there is, but it just really is so uninteresting to watch it for almost 2 hours now. It's still
The trick of mastering the currents to know which way it will turn next.
Yeah.
I learned trying to be fucking pussy. You're not either of those.
I want to buy a book of deep wisdom from this show, like a self-help book. I think it would help me guide my life.
You know, probably you could better just give all these actors some more meat. You know, like
raw meat.
Cooked, raw meat. Because apparently they're all vegans now. Look how soy he is. He has no balls. He's like crying to his father while his father's like, "Bitch, I'm trying to make this whole communism happening, you know? It all worked fine in the last year."
No, it's not even communism. It's going to be Marx. It's not. It's going to be capitalism because, of course, they took our jobs. They're also destroying capitalism.
Yeah, Bezos. You're not gonna. Bezos is not gonna bring us capitalism. I mean communism. No need to worry about that.
Marxy me boy, no communism. What is this? Madness?
Well, that'd be more sanity, actually.
Yeah, probably.
Yep. Then they leave.
Yeah.
Go off to Middle Earth.
Southlands.
Suddenly, teleportation horses.
Yep, suddenly teleportation horses. The battle's really stupid. It's annoying. I hate it. I want these people never to work in Hollywood again. There's a lot of stupid dialogue. The geography does not make the remotest bit of sense. I don't understand how that anybody was that asinine that they thought that this would be a good idea. But so I need to go for a second because my sister has ballet. So I will see you guys.
Right.
So I will see you guys later. Keep talking about why this is terrible.
Okay. I was about planning to get some food then, but okay. Why is this stupid? Allow me to produce you the scene. All right. So, what encouraged you to be the commander of the watch? Well, allow me to tell you about my wife.
You have a wife?
She drowned. The end.
Oh.
The sunset is pretty, or the sunrise. The sea's pretty.
Yeah, it reminds me of my wife. She drowned.
So whose wife drowned? Galadriel's?
No. His wife. The man. He's talking to the commander. The dude.
Yeah.
It's like,
okay.
This sunset reminds me of my wife.
Is that Elendil or some rando?
No. Elendil.
Okay,
it's like,
good.
This reminds me of that quote of Call of Duty. You know, I even killed his second wife with this gun. Nice. You know, when he picks up the AA-22, I believe, or 11, the fully automatic shotgun, it's like, I killed my second wife with this one. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, here's the thing: they don't. The elves, the Númenóreans, they do not feel any way different from people, like normal people, exactly. And I think this is what the showrunners just been running with exactly for the entire series.
Yes, the whole problem of this show is the elves don't feel like elves. They lack the hair, they lack the looks, they lack the dignity, they lack the style of how they should act. Then you have the humans who are just little bit like, Oi! Get off my property, you bloody damn idiot! You know, just get like, I gotta shoot you. You know, just ignorant peasants. That's what they are. And that doesn't make humans. It's like every single scene there is a goddamn black man with a white man talking to each other and be like, in the middle of the fucking mountains. It's like, the fuck? You're traveling in the mountains where there is one dude that looks like a goddamn hobo, which I understand because he's a pioneer, but the other guy is like a peasant with wearing a stupid little hat. It's like,
What?
It's the beginning scene of the Half-Foods, where you have this one dude that looks like, you know, a hunter gatherer, and the other guy looks like a fucking peasant out of the Middle Ages, but then black. It's like, it's so immersive breaking. You know, you have a hunter-gatherer and you have a non-hunter-gatherer. Well, you're supposed to have two hunter-gatherers. And the worst thing is they make the fucking blood guys stupid. Like, oh, we must have paid the Hardfoots then. Yes. I heard those Hardfoots actually killed those many people here on the road. So be careful. All right. Literally. All right, officer. It's literally how... It's such a butchering of the fucking actors.
Yeah, Trent, you're absolutely right. The elves are supposed to be supernatural, exactly. This show doesn't even show them to be supernatural.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
They don't even use magic. They're like, we need healing. Oh, wait. We're using herbs instead.
Well,
and then they don't even show the appliance of the herbs. They don't show the making of the herbs. They don't show anything. They just show elves.
Galadriel was able to survive in the middle of the ocean for a while. Maybe that was her elvish powers.
That doesn't even matter. That doesn't even matter. That's not even the biggest problem. The biggest problem is if you want to give this race a feeling of that they are, a superior race, because they are in this whole universe. They are a superior race. They need to be elegant. They need to be looking nice. They need to be acting accordingly to their dignity, to their status. Like, if somebody, like a low peasant, would say, like, you cannot do this, and he would say, like, of course I can. I am here to make the rules. If you dare to lay a finger on me, I will make sure that my guards are putting you in prison. Like, that is already a far more, more elegant way of handing. And then, you have this guy walking around and seeing, like, the crops are doing well today, isn't it? Yeah. And then the guard is like, yes, the cargo has already arrived at noon. Excellent. Well, make sure that the farmers here are getting the seeds well planted before next autumn, or before the autumn comes, because otherwise we're gonna get a bad harvest. And then and then you have two guards, negotiating with each other, like, it seems as the occupation is doing well, but I don't know how long it lasts. The humans are getting a little bit iffy with each other. Yeah, I heard that some of them are already getting already pissed off from how much, just give it more feeling to what's the goddamn story.
Oh no. Space Junk says, it's hard to believe that this character will turn into the Galadriel that rapes Frodo in the pool.
Yep.
I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said the R word. Sorry, I just got this video not taken down necessarily, but scared away all the advertisers.
I know, but doesn't really matter. But the thing is, it's not bad to show limitations of each race. The elves are more easily corrupted. The dwarves are very greedy. The humans are very susceptible to all these things. There's nothing wrong with that. But the showrunners keep pretending, oh no, every single race in Middle-earth exactly is just normal humans exactly, which they shouldn't be. That's what makes a universe of, say, Lord of the Rings, for example, so appealing, because there's all these multiple factions exactly.
The same goes for D&D, for instance. You have multiple races that are acting differently. You have orcs that are raiding, pillaging, and murdering people, but also like to challenge people, like to get better goals. You have goblins that like to steal, that like shiny things, that want to prove that they are better, but they also are very susceptible to evil deeds, because I'm gonna hit you. All right, sorry, sir. Being submissive. And then you have normal humans that are just regular day folks that are trying to do their job.
Impeccable traits.
And then there's Sauron, who's the most normal one of all.
And then you have just tieflings, which are literally just demon spawn that are hated across by humans because they're literally spawns of devils. So and dragonborns, for instance, the slave race that are in an alternate universe that are getting transported to this new world and are finally free from dragons, and then have to encounter different dragons. Like, that's also a very interesting story. Like, you have been very, very, you're a very young race in this new world where you know from your father that dragons ruled the world and treated you like trash. And now you meet these good dragons, for instance. It makes a very strange feeling. Like, wait, there are good dragons in this world? The fuck? You know? It makes interesting stories. It gives character towards them. Like, they have already a discuss of Dragonborns hate dragons because, well, you know, their heritage is that they were slaves towards dragons. And then you have like elves, which are, you know, wizardly people that like to relive memories of like, I remember the day that I caught that fish in the river well. That was a good day. And then, you know, seeing small things get corrupted. It's like, oh boy, it's not what they used to be these days.
Trip says, none of the characters has a presence. I felt no chills at all during the show.
Yep.
Yep.
It was literally
Spot
just
on.
binge watching. It was literally binge watching. Like, I feel nothing for these characters at all. Nothing.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, I had to wake up at 1 or 2 in the morning for this tribe, and it put me even to sleep. Or even more so, exactly.
Wouldn't it be a ride if it was all just a dream?
Oh, I wish it could. I wish.
But yeah, having flaws in a character doesn't make it bad. It makes it better. It makes it understandable. Makes it like having a wizard using necromancy, but trying to prove himself that necromancy is not that bad. Trying to do the thing that normal people won't do, but having then trouble trying to explain to a cleric that his necromancy, the spell that he's trying to use, is not fucking raising skeletons, but draining people's life. And be like, but that's as bad. Yes, I know, but it is not as bad as raising the dead. So much. You can do so much fun. You can do so much with just the little things, just tiny little bits, like the half foods. If you wanted to make the half foods good, if you wanted to make the hard food, I would have totally buy it if they would have made the hard foods evil. All right.
Yeah.
Make them the tribal people that they are supposed to be representing. Make them the tribal people that they want to be representing. Make them cannibalistic or at least sadistic people that are trying to do offerings and try to and celebrating the death. Make it happen. Do it with the easy way out.
And then Nori can be rebelling against all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
with the help
exactly.
of
And then the wizard changed it all. Then the wizard is a fucking hero. Now he's just a pushover that gets, I'm gonna whip you to pieces, wizard. Bam! Now work for me and work for Sauron. The witches.
Well,
yeah, exactly. It's like, you could have done so much. You could have made these uncivilized people being, from sacrificing deers on an altar to celebrate a new feast of the dead, remembering them to. You're not supposed to, and then, gently try to explain to them, like, I know magic from far and wide and try to show you the beauty of life, like that. And then they're like, oh, we could do that. And then they're like teaching them how to plant seeds, teaching them how to create crops, and they'd be like, oh, we could do that. And then he explains by magic, like, we must go to this place in the Shire,
They have
solved.
They have an arc, so they can have an actual arc. Let's see.
Now they're just murderous piece of shits that laugh at when people die.
There was gravitas in an elvish way with Leonard Nimoy as Spock and Mark Leonard as Sarek. And Tripp says, how about having Sauron be so charismatic when saying he wanted to rule for good that Galadriel considers ruling with him for a bit?
Yeah.
And the audience believes that for a while.
Yeah, because it does play into what's Sauron granting many gifts, and it would fit Galadriel in the show, for example. It would fit. But they don't even do that.
Or
And then we get the sex scene, of course.
no. You could do that. Her siding with Sauron, but knowing that she knows that Sauron is evil, so she tries to prevent things from happening, but she eventually can because she is not that powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And and then it will follow up with the rings.
Or she even causes things to happen. She even could cause bad things to happen, trying to prevent them.
Yeah, exactly. But that makes it far more believable, even though it might not be the story of Lord of the Rings itself. But it does make it more believable than what we now have. We have nothing. Absolutely nothing has changed, except that Gael, the bitch, is still hunting for Sauron.
Yeah. You just make it a generic fantasy like everything else.
Yeah, and the worst thing is, he showed her that he is Sauron. So the moment she knows that it is Sauron, she must have, be like, all right, well, time to go to business with my sword. And then, have her sword get broken.
Mm.
Why would you have her sword broken? Why? Because it makes Sauron powerful. It makes her be like, crap, I cannot do anything against this man because he's immortal. He's an angel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Trip is right as well. She never says anything to Elrond or Celebrimbor about we shouldn't make the rings.
Nothing. Absolutely
nothing to them.
She even made the rings happening. They are like, should we proceed? Yeah, of course, man. Go. Like,
well, she kind of forgot about the rings, to be fair.
The show did, clearly. Because apparently 3 are balance, apparently. It's like, how is 3 rings balance exactly? How? What's the connection here with balance?
The thing
is, Galadriel was never supposed to be that involved. She did a very little bit, and it is enough. And she resisted the temptation, which is the greater accomplishment. Yeah, the thing is that we don't have a completed narrative of Galadriel's story before Lord of the Rings. We just have a number of drafts. The most interesting one was the one where she went to Middle-earth because she wanted to get revenge on Fëanor, like for the kinslaying or something. But their hostility went before that because he was in love with her, but she was like, no. She dissed him.
Mm-hmm.
So their hostility was before then, but then afterwards, maybe she perceived that he was like evil or something, or not evil, but turning evil, because Fëanor did turn kind of evil.
Mm.
Yep. The greater accomplishment, because that was the greatest accomplishment, because we all have succumbed. Every single last one of us.
Yeah.
We would have gone down, but she resisted. Yeah. That would have made so much more sense.
Yeah.
You can have an arc with that too.
Mm-hmm.
You could still have that with Lord of the Rings. It would tie into Fellowship of the Ring exactly.
You could have made a whole story about that she resisted the temptation. But no, they didn't. They went with a generic fantasy trash show. Like, that's like this was made. This felt like a student budget show. Like
I think that's being too kind.
on the show writing kind of thing. Like even a student would have made it better. I believe. This is like early draft of writing, definitely.
The funny thing as well, she's not supposed to be a warrior. She's a mage. A very powerful.
She's a politician, not even a warrior.
I think if I remember correctly, there was a little bit of, she did a little bit of warring stuff, but I think it was mostly magic.
Yeah, but even if she went to war, she was the one that solves it by, making alliances, making things happen from one side to another. She was a talkative person. She made things happen. I don't think she went to war in a fucking warrior suit and be like, all right, let's do this, Leroy Jenkins, you know?
What's more powerful,
Stupid.
sword or mind games? What's more powerful?
Minds.
Yes.
Swords.
No.
On a mind game, no. With the mind games, you can stab people. You have people stabbing the swords of your enemies.
You know, this is actually quite fun. I believe in Rome. I believe the series Rome did it correct. I don't know if it was Rome, but it was like, you know, take a seat, all right? Take a seat in my throne if you want to rule. But will wage a sword above you that will, if you move one slightest movement, it will fall on you and you die. So then the peasant takes the seat, and hesitant, he tries to take a feast from his good dinner, but once he tries to get to the dinner, the sword begins to stumble. And then, you know, the king explains to him, like, every single day I have to do this. If I make the wrong decision, many people will lose their life. Worse things will come to worse. And sometimes I have to take it. Sometimes I need to make sure that my decision is wisest. And the peasant can no longer take it. He's like, you're right, sir. You're right about this. And so, therefore, I have proven my point. And then, you know, he earns the respect of the peasant. But because you never can let your authority go to judge as a king, you know, you never can be judged about your authority, you need to show an example. So, in public, he beheads the peasant because, well, that's the right thing to do. He judged the king. You cannot judge the king for his decisions. That's a very bad thing to do. And therefore, he earns his respect to the other peasants. Well, proving to the people that are working in the castle that he's already...
Sorry. Carry on. I'm trying to view this article and it's getting this stupid pop-up.
Pop-up.
It's fine.
Yep. There's a Forbes article which says that Galadriel is sometimes a warrior. Let's see what it says. Specific passages that describe her fighting across much of Tolkien's work, but where are they? Okay. There's a fight. There's a fight at Aqualonde. She fought heroically. Let's see. At Aqualonde, there's a fighting there. Let's see. Finrod and Galadriel fought against Fëanor in defense of Aqualonde. So there's at least, let's see. She fought fiercely against Fëanor in defense of her mother's kin. So there's a few passages, but that's not primarily what she was doing. But there are a few passages that do justify that.
But I think the scrying ability from her is actually from the ring herself. She wears herself, if I'm correct. But that the writers don't understand anything about the lore is like, why the hell are they making the show? It's stupid. It's like, you know, you want to make a horror game, and then you only invite people that are working on like those slice of life games that are happy. Like, you're inviting the wrong people to do the job.
Well, the funny thing is, they did have a Tolkien expert, but they fired them because they went against the law, which is very ironic.
They fired. They had, what's his name? Tom Shippey? Is that the name?
I think so,
maybe
yeah.
because he was not agreeing with the things, and therefore he was a bigot, and therefore he got fired.
Yeah, probably.
It would be interesting to find out what was behind all that. It would be interesting to know.
Oh, I think after a year, when will actually DMCs go away? Like when you can talk about things?
I have no idea, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on the agreement.
I hope it is like 2 years or 3 years, and then we can hear his story, because that would be great.
It would be interesting to know, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what went wrong with Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power? A lot. Even the Battle of the Middle Earth. A game that was way too old already. It's probably 2007 it was released. Even that game had a story. And that story made more sense because it was just following the same story as Lord of the Rings, because it was from Lord of the Rings, but it had more to do with the Battle of the Middle Earth.
Well, even the Mordor games have this, and it's fanfic essentially. And that's more faithful than this.
Yes, because it kept the idea of elves, it kept the idea of dwarves, it kept the idea of humans. It kept the idea, the personalities, the traits. It kept the idea of it makes the game far more immersive if you have those traits. Like, orcs are stupid but strong. Some orcs are smart but weak.
Mm-hmm.
And then have conflicts between them, which also happened. They like to murder each other as well. So it makes so much more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Shadow of War 2, I believe, I not fully got what I didn't fully get the thing that they wanted to go for. I do know what they wanted to go for, but I really like the story of 1, but 2 went a little bit too
out there, shall we say?
They added a little bit too much of law breaking things. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
No.
They did go the route like, all right, you have the main character, but then you have multiple other characters that you can also follow the story with. But the main problem is with that is it disconnects the main story if you go those other two, and that makes it sad. Like, if I wanted to watch a story, I actually wanted to if I wanted to play a story, I want to play as the main character again, and then continue with his path. And they hit a rock bottom. Literally, they hit a rock. You cannot continue because he's dead. That's the main problem. Eventually, he gets corrupted.
So in the chat, they're talking about Galadriel's scrying abilities, and Triple Lady is asking if that power would not have been useful in searching for Sauron.
Oh hell yeah!
And Kersar is saying it predates the Palantir. She already had this, and she never actually searched for Sauron. That is a fake narrative. Well, it's a narrative in the show. It's not a narrative in the books. Is what he means by that. It's not book canon. It's show canon. Insofar as there is show canon.
Do you mind if I make some bread, because I'm actually quite hungry?
Sorry?
Do you mind if I make some bread?
Please get something you need to. Please.
Yeah, because I'm literally I'm hungry from all of this. Don't know why though.
I'm munching, so I can't very well say no one else can. And Bratlord is off doing his chauffeuring his sister, I believe.
Yep.
And we still this is the bit where they're on the sea on the way to Middle Earth. We haven't yet got to the bit where they traverse across 1/3 of Middle Earth in a few hours.
Yeah, this feels like season 8 levels of just travel. It really is.
Yeah, season 8, season 7 levels of teleportation going on. People just zip, 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 zip.
Indeed, it is. And apparently this contains 1,000 soldiers per boat, and they have 3 of them. Horses included.
Why are they only taking 3 boats or 3 ships?
I have no idea. Apparently, there is an army back at Numenor, but the Queen didn't bother to take it because she's an idiot.
Maybe they needed to defend it. Maybe they needed it to defend it from the elves who are taking their jobs.
Probably, but still, you don't take 3,000 people. You take a good amount of us, like say half, or maybe more than a half exactly, and just leave the rest at home. You don't just do this. This is like an expedition force or something.
Yeah, to be fair, they're only going to this one village. I don't think they understand what boats mean, says Kersar St. Joseph.
No,
yeah.
I think you're right, yeah.
And I think, because you wouldn't be taking boats to Middle Earth. You'd be taking ships, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to remember what else was going on.
Well, apparently all the main characters survived the Pompeii flow that happened.
Oh yeah, we may have talked about that last time.
Yeah, but it may be coming up as well. But it's just, how does anyone survive that, especially from the main cast? It's 800 to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, the elves survived it because they got elf powers.
That doesn't make sense either.
The humans were Numenorians, so they got special Numenorian superpowers.
You know what the main problem is with that volcanic eruption? The aftermath. It's like if you take scientific research, you know that everything in that area would be dead. Worst of it, it's not only the shock, all right, the explosive shock that killed them. It would also mean, because it is so damn hot, their bodies would have let a flame, and then they would charred up and died. Literally, if you throw a Molotov, that kind of effect would have happened to those people in the area. Just lit up like candles for Christmas. Death.
Yeah.
Well, maybe maybe the lava missed them. Maybe it hit some. It didn't hit them, so it didn't burn them.
Well, that's impossible. Lava cannot miss. That's
Father.
Yep.
But yeah, they definitely don't understand any mythology. They don't even understand the Tolkien mythology. They did think that ring wraiths are there before Sauron. Ghosts, yes, but ring wraiths? What?
No, maybe race, but I'm not sure what ring wraiths, because they were made by the rings.
Yeah, you wouldn't have ring wraiths without rings. It's kind of hard.
So the show is already implementing that the humans already have the rings of Sauron. Now, what's the point of the rings of power if you don't show the goddamn making of every single fucking ring?
I mean, the rings only come at the end, so there wouldn't be ring wraiths before that unless they time traveled.
Exactly.
I don't think they understand mythology as Tolkien did. Says in the chat. Yeah, no. Well, probably most people today don't understand mythology quite in the same way that Tolkien did. To be fair. Because mythology doesn't just mean it's not true. There's more to it than that. There's an idea that there's I think in Tolkien there's an idea that there's a deeper truth that's being represented not literally but aesthetically. they're teaching truths through story.
Yes. One of the Roman mythologies was about they like to retell the stories of Greek mythologies, but with a little bit more of a bloody twist, like more blood, more gore, because well, Romans were literally bloodthirsty people that like to see people in the Colosseums, which is proven in their mythology. Because of that, they changed the lore a bit, but they made it even. The whole story was about there was this guy on a rock chained, and he was cursed that his liver always will regrow back. But there was a raven who ate the liver every single day. He came and said, like, yeah, the gods are punishing you, so don't mind me just eating your liver. And eventually, he tried it many days, many weeks gone by. He cried for help, like, please don't do this. I beg of you. It hurts so much. And the crow was like, no, man, I'm just gonna pick a little bit. Oopsie daisy. And then, he picks and picks every single day, and this man is getting tortured, like real painful. But one day, the crow comes. He asks, like, so, how was your day going? The man says, like, well, I have seen the sun for the day, so you don't mind me picking your liver? Oh, no, go ahead. And the crow's like, this is gonna be so much fun. And then suddenly, a hand appears in the throat on the throat of the crow, and he's like, what? And he says, like, allow me to introduce you to my friend, the strongest man in the world, Hercules. He came by to rescue me. And now, I will take your liver instead. But that's unreasonable. You cannot do that. Oh, but you took it every single day. So I'm wondering what it's gonna be tasting like. And then that's where the story ends. So
quite charming.
Very charming indeed.
It's very funny. So but it is also teaching, like, you don't always need to take a given horse by the mouth, like you not always keep on doing the same thing and expecting the same result and then exploiting the person for it. It is very bad.
So Trip Lady says, things you may not have discussed. Sauron entering Galadriel's mind. Oh yeah, there was that.
Yeah.
The quote gifts of Sauron, which I've forgotten about, unless they were the ring things. Galadriel not saying a word about Sauron to Elrond, which I think we've mentioned that briefly.
A little bit, yeah. We'll get to that when Dunn gets back.
The three were never touched by Sauron, so Elrond had the blue ring, and Galadriel had the white ring, but Gandalf had Narya, the ring of fire. Nenya was one. At least one of the rings was named Nenya. There's a Narya, a Nenya, and I don't remember the other one.
What I find stupid about this mind trick of Sauron is that this should not have worked on her. Why? Because she has no feelings.
Baldur.
Well, here's the thing. Her mentality, exactly. Her thought process is that I can't stop killing. That's the mentality. I need to kill. I want to die, essentially. But then it gets contradicted by the fact of episode 6, I don't care to Hellbrand, saying, I don't care what you were beforehand, exactly. But then when she turned out to be Sauron, is like, he wants to repent. He literally says, well, didn't you just say you don't care what I came from, exactly? So, what is this character?
No, I forgot all about that too.
Well, I think that is indeed a thing, when you see the mind of thought, like what Sauron would have, what a more reasonable mind blow would have been, is that he would have talked to Galadriel in the middle of the city, all right, in the middle of a town or whatever, and he's talking about, this greed and all of the greed of men, how they not deserve such nice place, and then talk about it, and then suddenly make it look like people are treating people badly, that she cannot stop war, can't stop killing. So he makes them look evil towards her. And then, when people are trying to approach her, like, and then suddenly she snaps by, people trying to approach her, like, are you all right? And then, he changes the sentences around, like, what are you doing here? Elves don't belong here. This is our land now. Yeah. Like that kind of feeling, that feeling of like, these people deserve, to be punched in the face. And then, she punches out, like what she did in the early thing with when she got bullied. All right. Because that way it would have made more sense to corrupt her by, showing that she is as bad as him. That she cannot change as well, and then make her desperate. But then and then when she snaps out of it, you can see that she literally punched the guy to death. Maybe like something like that would have been making more sense than like, join me, my pretty. I deserve more than just a throne. I deserve a queen. I don't know. That might sound a little bit stupid, but I think that would be the better approach.
I want there to be romantic, like piano music in the background when they're doing that.
Oh, that evil piano music, like da 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 da.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Yes, I have planned this all along. My powers are ever living.
I love you, Sauron. I know you're evil, but you're so dreamy.
Oh, son, please come with me. I do need you. Yes, you do indeed need me. And together we can rule this galaxy. Yes, son. Whatever you say, son.
And he's not wrong when he says Tolkien's lore is going all the way back to Genesis. Yeah, it does go back to the creation. It's true. That's where it starts. It's a very interesting meta-narrative, all the way from the level of myth through legend to turning into gradually into mere history after the Third Age is over. So there's a very interesting meta-narrative going on. And yes, it starts all the way back at creation. But we were talking about Sauron and Galadriel's love affair, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but indeed, the showrunners never read anything of Tolkien. Therefore, they didn't even know anything. And I think it's good if you want to have a good idea what happens if a show writer knows about the lore or not know about the lore. If you have something like if you create the lore and then make a movie about it, like with for instance with Avatar, the Avatar, the Blue People, for instance, it's a lore created around it, and then make a movie about it. It was pretty. It was followable. It followed the narrative. Of course, there were some things here and there that didn't make any sense, but it was an action-packed. Movie which did pretty well, but in the end, nobody gives a shit. Which is true because there were better things to watch. But now, because we have the opportunity to watch better things, on other programs, you can see the flaws far more clearer. And if somebody doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, it shows. For instance, I believe if you, yes, there you go. If you look at, for instance, Jurassic Park 1, and then go to Jurassic World, all right, total different approaches. They ruined so much stuff, it's not even funny anymore. If you take Jurassic Park 3 and compare it to Jurassic World, both are absolutely terrible, but World is a little bit more believable. And why is that? Because the things that are important is the story as well. The story was not good, absolutely not. 3, I found like, wow, that's an absolute terrible excuse. 2 was actually quite a good excuse, actually. I really liked it, like, hey, your girlfriend just joined this, just joined the expedition. So I was thinking, maybe you want to. What? You made her go to that expedition? Oh, you son of a fucking bitch! It made so much more sense. It was so much fun to watch that series, like the dudes, the mercenaries, explaining things to other people, like, hey, this is a cool thing, it's a cool dinosaur. His name is Palatosaurus, and it's a very tough one. And then showing the strength of those creatures. It's a great way. It's a great way to create immersion. And then in World, there was no immersion. It was just genetically modified creature that just stomps around and eats things. And why? Corrupt officials. Who gives a shit? And that is unfortunate. I must say, the most I say about this is that Tolkien was the first in all history to unmake the ring.
Unmake the ring. That sounds...
Well, it is true. He unmade, he rewrote history. Let's put it that way. He made a new ring. Or well, he recreated it. He made a new history. He combined it all, which is nice. It is the point of apocalypse. Okay. But yeah, it's a real shame that this is actually went terrible. Let's put it that way. Because if this would have been on the right hands, I think we would have had a decent show, probably. If we had people that were passionate about Tolkien and were able to write goddamn fucking sentences correctly. So I'm not pointing towards me because I'm absolutely terrible at sentence writing and reading it out loud. But yeah, it sucks.
The problem is basically they had 9 pages of material to adapt, and they have no experience to speak of.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Don.
Hey, I'm back. Yeah, my apologies. My little sister needed to ride to ballet. So.
Aww.
Well, so what has been discussed so far?
What hasn't been discussed?
Okay, so we pretty much covered. We covered the battle. Have we covered the making of the rings?
Not really.
Okay. Yeah. Have we covered the bit with Elrond and Durin in episode 7?
I think we did a bit of that. Let's see. We didn't. Let's see the rings, but the other thing. What was the other thing we didn't do? Oh, that's right. Galadriel, Sauron and Galadriel's mind.
Yeah. The fucking stupid scene.
Yeah, so I guess we're on Alloyed, the final episode.
Great. Yeah.
Thank God.
You know,
So-
we're already 3 hours in, so yeah, thank God that we're already there.
Let's just
Praise the Lord for that.
So pretty much this at least is somewhat like focused. Which is something to be thankful for, but apparently Sauron they take advice from a man who the problem is this regular human who has only been alive for what 30 years 30 years ish
Yeah.
Mhm.
ish is
say that.
basically elf splaining to Celebrimbor
worst
about
thing
how to
is-
make
might I add.
allies, which is the
Yeah.
most basic freaking thing about metallurgy.
So the elves hadn't figured out alloys yet.
Apparently not.
I mean, that's what
From the Master of the
the
Forge.
I mean, that's something human beings figured out. Like it's almost as soon as metal was invented
Yeah.
or discovered.
So, yeah, apparently the elves are so dumb that they need a Meyer to tell a former Meyer to say, "Here is the most basic metal technique ever.
Well,
how do you make steel? Steel is carbon and iron.
you can go all the way back to the Bronze Age.
Yeah,
Bronze
copper
is
and
a-
tin.
Bronze
Yeah.
is an alloy, or alloys.
You know what the funny thing is? Even Romans knew how to fucking forge a weapon. And they did it
Yeah.
quite well. They
I
mass
mean,
produced it even.
Before the Romans, even before the Romans, the
Greeks.
Egyptians,
Yeah.
the Sumerian. Well, the Byzantines were several centuries later, but yeah, the Greeks,
of course.
the Egyptians, the Sumerians, and so forth.
Oh,
Even the
Celts
fucking
did.
Germanic tribes knew how to fucking make a weapon.
Yeah.
Even
Unfortunate.
Slavs knew that.
It was maybe not the best quality, but they knew the fucking way. They had fucking underground mines. They had tunnels. Oh my god. These fucking retards. And this is what I mean with the characteristics of elves being scrapped. Like you have a superior race. You should have known this. You should know the fucking basics of civilization.
I mean, they've been around a while, elves.
Yeah, but they should have known the basics of civilization.
Exactly. They've been around for a while, so they should have known that millennia ago.
You know what happens
just
if a
forgot.
you know what happens if a fucking how do you say that? If a kingdom is alive for quite a long time, like Spain, it improves. It gets better. Sometimes it has ups, sometimes it has downs, but it gets better.
Egypt, Mesopotamia. There may have been others too.
Oh my god, it's
Babylon,
The
Israel.
Mm-hmm. Look at his face, being like,
Like his mind has been blown. And then
Like, wow.
he looks like somebody coming from Star Trek. Actually,
Yeah.
he doesn't look like an elf. He looks like from Star Trek,
Yeah.
being placed in this fantasy show.
yeah. And then Big Tits McGee or ARN is called up to draw Palantir's image and then gets excited the frickin' Palantir for some reason.
What was that about the Palantir?
Yeah, she gets to go up and see the Palantir. Let me find that.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
to piece two metals to live in together in harmony.
Yeah. And nothing happens. So then there's this whole discussion. And it's dumb. So
You can just
dumb.
skip it. Nobody will miss it.
And then there's a little scene with Tarmariel and Elendil talking about how they're the faithful.
And then they make out.
Gucci,
No.
gachi, gaga, gaga.
No.
Oh yeah, one more. Okay, how do I not know what my? I don't want my men to know that I am blind. I'll go with a blindfold. They will never know the difference.
No. She's now one level in monk.
She's Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil. Dare woman. Also, what is wrong with her dress? This looks absolutely not elvish at all. Jeez.
It kind of looks Romani. It looks vaguely Romani.
Not exactly. Too. I do like the plants are pretty.
True. Plants are great. They feel like elvish, but her dress, absolutely not.
The plants are annoyed they're on the show, though.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And then it turns out Shock, the guy whose mark was he was bearing, died a long time ago. And he
But you already visit the fucking libraries to confirm it, you fucking dick.
So finally she is suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this whole weird vision where Sauron teleports the holodeck from Star Trek into Middle-earth.
Yeah,
I know, right?
And they have this whole discussion. Go for it.
So Sauron is Picard then.
I guess so.
Plants just wanted to quit. The plants wanted to quit, but they are just plants. Yeah. Poor little things.
And then there's this whole discussion.
I was evil all along. Now join me. I need a good pair of legs.
Actually, the funny thing is, Dom, we've been talking about this. This could actually work as as an art for Galadriel, but it doesn't work here because it's just so.
It is terrible. The way how it is presented is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
They should have gone for a way more public place to put her in trance. And then show her resistance towards it. Because this is stupid.
Yes. It
Absolutely.
is utterly without merit. I don't understand why they decided to do this.
Also, what is wrong with Saruman? Where is his cool hat?
Sauron, you mean? I don't know.
Yeah, where is Susu's his hat? Come on.
What?
So as you can see, he planned already that she would be stranded.
Apparently.
Yeah. That makes it even more stupid. Like, are you gonna wait for some elvish chick to just come by and be like, "Help me! I'm drowning!"
The problem is he's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see you were on because the elves cast you out. Therefore, you should join me.
Yeah, basically he's saying the elves hate you. And rightly so. She's a horrible, horrible person.
Absolutely.
Why is she smiling, though?
It's because
Why is
Morpha
she
Clark is a
smiling?
terrible actress.
No, it's because it's true love.
Apparently.
Guess who's back? It's
Wanda
Saruman.
sucks up Galadriel.
I still legitimately do not understand why these people needed an intimacy coordinator. That makes zero sense to me.
Well, we'll find out next season when the next season there'll be one huge big screaming orgy.
They didn't even get any, it's just...
I hope not. I fucking hope not that there's gonna be a fucking second season.
They're saving up for next season. It's going to be wild.
You want to sell a dead horse? Because that's how you sell a dead horse.
Yeah.
It won't sell. It will be pirated all across the nation just to show you a big giant middle finger.
You don't want a dead horse in an orgy anyway. That'd be gross.
Exactly. So why watch it?
So I think I won that argument.
Yes.
Take that. Ha. Also, what is wrong with this close-up? It's stupid.
Morpheus Clark was so badly miscast for this role. It's not even funny.
Look how big her nose is. This doesn't look feminine at all.
No, it does
No.
not. I mean, to be fair, it was worth it for this. Wasn't worth it for this whole. Just this one scene of stupidity and hilarity. Probably not, but.
There is a Tempest at me, and I will kill you. Rawr.
This show.
Oh, look how her mouth moves. Like, I win. You will die because of me. She looks like a demon straight out of hell. Oh yeah, definitely.
And then
Oh, she already was.
Crazy bitch.
Yep. And then, for whatever reason, they decide
The Hobbit is
to make 3. So
Why 3?
Sauron lives, and it just says 3 will bring balance. That's not how it works. Have you heard of Arnor?
Yeah.
What is Arnold? Tell me. Because I didn't heard of him.
You're joking. I assume that you're joking. Or
I don't know who Arnor is.
Well, it's a kingdom of men that was divided into 3 sections because the king had 3 sons.
Oh,
who didn't like each other.
Okay.
So 1 will cause. Let's see. What is the stupid logic? 1 will always corrupt.
2 will divide.
3 will bring balance. That is complete and utter nonsense.
It's asinine. That's
You know what brings balance? Balance? Tea.
4 rings?
Tea is always balanced. Just the right amount of tea makes your day good.
Yeah.
Same with coffee.
Yeah. Plenty of food.
Yep. And then they forge the rings after Elrond finds the heritage. And then the show ends with Sauron walking toward Mount Doom to say, I'm going to be back for season 2, suckers.
Also, so technically Sauron did not put any magic into it.
No?
Apparently not. And
The
he didn't even teach them the craft of ring making.
Yeah.
The cape looked cool.
Oh, you mean Nazgul, dude, the Witch King boy.
The baby Witch King? Yeah. I want Theo to be the Witch King next season. That would be great.
Oh, that would be a very that would be a very big push in one go. Jeez.
Yep. But that's the end. There it ends.
That's the end of the world as we
Jesus
know it.
Christ.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine.
No. So
The fire looks cool.
okay.
Yeah, the mountain looks like the Mountain of Doom looks like a Mountain of Doom, except.
So here's a funny thing that happened. So, in regards to why they changed Halbrand's reveal to Halbrand's thing, the reason why they wrote it was, according to the showrunner in Vulture, we were concerned about a situation where a part of the audience steeped in lore is 6 or 7 episodes ahead of the characters. If deception is an important part of the journey, we want to preserve that experience for book readers too. The idea... Go for it.
But you didn't. Carry on.
Yeah. The idea that Shadow can take many forms was part of what we were attracted to. The reference to gifts is a nod to Anatar, to the Anatar of it all, but also at the end of Season 1, 3 rings have been crafted. And as you know from the song Fiona Apple sings at the end of the season, there are still 7 for the dwarves, 9 for the men, and 1 for the Dark Lord to come. There are more gifts yet to come. It's like... There's also... Yeah. There's also a whole stupid thing that they said on their podcast, which we may listen to because it's really stupid.
Do we have to?
One day, eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what happened was, apparently they wanted to say that, well, maybe we'll just listen to Disparu's like little clips of it because he actually does a good job of commenting on it.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
There was this whole thing about how they said, no, Anatar doesn't make sense in the books. They want, and so they decided we're going to change it because people don't accept devil's bargains because they're stupid. They accept them because they're desperate. It's like, it was not a devil's bargain, you idiot. Are you so irreligious and unversed that you don't know what a freaking mire is?
He literally gave you a powerful ring. That's it. There is no second thing about it. The only problem was you only figured out that it was an evil ring after he created the last one.
Yeah.
That's the whole deal. And what I don't get is like, all right, the elves have created now 3 rings, but they're absolutely useless because they don't enhance with magic. So you're saying every fucking ring, the Sauron ring, is going to be a ring that doesn't have any magic in it as well?
Yeah.
Because of this. Because one ring to rule them all, but all the rings are useless except Sauron's ring.
Okay, let's see. Sauron endeavors to seduce the Eldar. The smiths of Eregion are won over. The elven smiths instructed by Sauron reach the height of their skill. They begin the forging of the rings of power. The 3 rings are completed. I'm reading from the Tale of Years. It doesn't even say why the elves agreed to do that there. Does it say anywhere in here why they actually, what the actual reason was for it?
They just wanted to have mastery and dominance. I think it's, and they wanted to experiment and grow their powers.
Yeah, the Sauron. Yeah, Sauron it's in the year 1200 he endeavors to seduce the Eldar, around the year 1200 Second Age. Around 1500 they reach the height of they begin the forging of the Rings of Power, but it takes them 90 years to do it, to complete the 3 rings, and then it takes another 10 years for Sauron to forge the 1 ring.
Okay. So the history was, okay, many of the lesser rings. Okay.
I think I know where I might get.
Yeah, let me look up Celebrimbor because he's the main impetus for this.
Yep.
Let's take a look.
Let me see. There's also a bit in the Silmarillion about it.
Yeah, it's okay, so what happened was, so based on the Wikia, which may or may not be accurate, since it's using Silmarillion of the Rings of Power in the Third Age is the reference used.
Yeah.
So, what it says is Celebrimbor So Sauron, calling himself Anantar, befriended the Noldor of Eregion, claiming to be an emissary of the Valar, especially Owlite, and instructed them in the art of ring making. Under the guidance of the instruction of Sauron, the smiths openly made rings to learn the craft, and Celebrimbor himself forged 3 elven rings without assistance.
Yeah, let's see. So, he long sought to persuade the elves to his service, for he knew that the firstborn had the greater power. Only to Lindon did he not come, for Gil-galad and Elrond doubted him at his fair seeming. And though they knew not in truth who he was, they would not admit him to their land. But elsewhere the elves received him gladly, and few among them hearkened to the messengers from Lindon bearing them beware. For Sauron took to himself Anatar, Lord of Gifts, and they had at first much profit from his friendship. And he said to them, Alas, for the weakness of the great! For a mighty king is Gil-galad, and wise in all lore is Master Elrond, and yet they will not aid me in my labors. Can it be that they do not desire to see other lands become as blissful as their own? But wherefore should Middle-earth remain forever desolate and dark, whereas the elves could make it as fair as Eressëa, nay, even as Valinor? And since you have not returned thither, as you might, I perceive that you love this Middle-earth, as do I. Is it not then our task to labor together for its enrichment, and for the raising of all elven kindreds that wander here untaught to the height of that power and knowledge which those have who are beyond the sea? And so forth. It was in Eregion that his counsels were most gladly received. For in that land the Noldor desired ever to increase the skill and subtlety of their works, and they were not at peace in their hearts. Since they had refused to return into the West, they desired both to stay in Middle-earth, and yet to enjoy the bliss of those who had departed. So that's why they listened to Sauron.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it says here.
Apparently.
Just what is this show?
It's really dumb.
Yes.
I hate it.
Yeah, you see, that would have been that would have made an actually interesting story.
And it was used as an interesting story in the Shadow of War games.
Oh, I wasn't thinking of that, but yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, the Shadow of War games are definitely like almost as inaccurate to canon as well.
I will say the more fanfic, but even the fanfic is better than this abomination.
At least it's cool. At least it's cool fan fiction. Like, for all its lore flaws, Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor are cool.
Yeah, fun orcs to fight, chop their heads open, convert them, make a big boy a general. You know, all the fun stuff. Hot spider waifu, don't forget that.
So that's the story.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
Yes.
And they did want to preserve the past too. That's also in there.
Yeah.
I thought they would. I thought they were burning it, but okay.
Burninating the countryside, burninating the past.
But don't you worry, all the books will be burned alive, you know, on a big giant place, and then nothing will be ever again the real thing. Just this. This is gonna be the real law. This is gonna sell merchandise, everything.
Cool.
This will be the grandest thing ever.
I hope it makes him loads of money too.
Yeah. Lots and lots of money.
Because I don't think Bezos is rich enough.
Clearly not. Obviously.
He needs more rockets.
Needs more DACA.
I hate this show. I want it to die.
I'm more or less indifferent to it.
What can I say? But you're welcome.
Yeah, for me, like, this is my feeling.
If this was a person, I would strangle it, burn the body, and proudly declare to the world that I had done it, and no jury would convict me.
If this were a person I'd accidentally bump into it, not really realizing it was there, and then say, "Oh, I'm frightfully sorry," and then I forget they were there again.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you want my feeling for this show, absolutely zero fucks. Just don't create more.
No.
Just don't. Just don't. I'm just tired of this. Jeez.
I am too. So I think that we've pretty much covered the entirety of this show over the course of 5 hours.
Yep.
Oh boy, 5 hours. No wonder I'm seeing double.
Indeed.
Well, I mean, Lord of the Rings already is remembered as a masterpiece. It has been for the last several decades.
Indeed.
Oh, it is, and it always will be. This show, and I think also the Peter Jackson movies will be remembered as classics by comparison.
By comparison, certainly.
And even like just as they are. Yeah, even the Hobbit films are getting look much better in comparison to this freaking
I mean, they're not good films by any stretch of the means, but it's much more palatable than this garbage.
At least they have a character arcs and good acting and somewhat sensible acting, sensible characteristics.
Yeah.
Like, I buy Thorin's arc, and it's just weird to me that Ninja hates the Hobbit movies worse.
It's because he loves the book so much.
Which is also weird because the promise of the show is equally as bad.
It's the film, the Hobbit films are very bloated. That's part of the reason, perhaps.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that.
Oh yeah, there are definite flaws and some dumb things, but
it was not meant to be a big screaming action flick.
Yeah, there's definitely an element of.
What I think is actually they should have, made the movie into one movie instead of 3 separate ones. That would have been better for me.
Or just 2 movies. 2 movies would have been better.
Yeah. 2 maximum. One would be best, but 2 is 2 maximum.
Because what main problem was with that movie was it was not very memorable because of all the what happened in the first one, and then the second one, all right, they go to an adventure, all right. The second one, they go into the mountain, all right. And then the third one, they fight a dragon. Oh wait, they don't fight the dragon. Mr.
Bard.
Yeah, Mr. Bard. Bard van Bert en Ernie. Yeah, Mr. Bert. Mr. Bert, the archer. Yes. So great, so good. I hated that guy. I was like, fuck this guy in person. I would have, be like, all right, if you wanted to kill that dragon, you should have done it in his lair. Honestly, that would have been so much more better.
The dragon looked cool.
Oh, it did. It looked really cool. It's one of the best dragons in cinema.
Yeah.
But honestly, the dragon should have been fighting in the mines instead of outside. It would have been better.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make any sense why you would fly over that stupid village and then get shot down by a fucking crossbow.
Well, unfortunately, that's accurate to the book.
He wanted to burn down the town.
Yeah, but I don't like Bard, though. Bard is stupid.
And Bard's a lame character in both the book and the film.
Yeah.
He exists. Oh god, he exists. God.
Bard die.
He's much better in the film. At least they try to give him a.
Well, at least he was not a horny Bard, so
yeah,
I give him that.
I would actually, I would agree to a certain extent that he is better in the film because he has a character. He
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
have a character in the book.
He's just there and one shots the dragon. That's it.
Yeah,
Really?
one shot, no scopes.
Well, in the book,
Yeah,
I
like,
mean.
yeah, in the book, he just legitimately just shows up, owes up. It basically is just an ascended extra. Just he is introduced in that chapter, shoots the dragon, and then escapes the dragon falling on the towner.
Well, he's also involved
Alright,
in the
so-
spin-off with the dwarves, so there's also that which feeds into Thorin's arc. So he does play a role. What's the word I'm looking for? A subaltern role in terms of Thorin's development as a character in the book. So he does that, but in terms of as a character in himself, he's not meant. I think it's fine. It's fine. You know, not all characters have to be like these. It's fine.
It's the main problem I have with him is that he basically one shots the main antagonist of the book.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
there's not
no
much.
major fight. It's just he dropped dead.
Well, to be fair,
All right.
at least in the film, it is a specially designed arrow. It's not just some made out of basically like a blister. Essentially, in the book, it's literally just a black arrow. It's literally just a black arrow. There's something special about it.
I think Tolkien made a little bit of a mistake to introduce Bot into his story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess every writer has his own flaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goddamn Bot.
Which is why I just like at certain point, yeah, it's just in the book he shoots the dragon, bullies Thorin, gets the Arkenstone, and that's pretty much it. It actually, honestly, it would have been more satisfying if the Elven King had killed him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he tells him, but he tells him because the thrush told him where to shoot. That's accurate. It's just really lame.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least build up the character, like him always want to hunt the dragon and then train montage, that kind of thing, and then show up at the place.
I don't think that would have worked necessarily, actually.
Bilbo is not a warrior, and the dwarves aren't really warriors either.
Yeah.
This is why Bard was brought in.
Yeah, I think that would have been better to at least like set him up in Lake Town.
Yeah.
Like go for it, sorry.
I just agree. You set him up, yeah.
Set him up as a guard, maybe, to protect the place.
Or even just as somebody who's vouching and says, no, the like at least like should have been. I think that actually like since he's characterized as a person who is somewhat I don't care, it's still a major plot point and an ascended extra makes it happen. I don't care.
Yeah.
He is an ascended extra. That is the main problem.
Tolkien sucks.
No, he doesn't suck. He just has. He just
sucks at making bots. That's all.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I just don't care. I'm just.
Yeah.
I just don't care. I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, demanding. I guess as part of it makes sense, I suppose, in terms of the fact that he is very much he's not really meant to the dragon, but I guess it's just like a whole thing where it's just, it doesn't really matter. It's like the main problem is the message of greed and all that. It's just kind of a weird structure. Kind of going with the Odyssey. But even the Odyssey has a central antagonist in the form of Poseidon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the climax of this, but it's just the major problem that's been built up throughout the whole book of the dragon is abruptly solved by an ascended extra. This has been our critique of The Hobbit and the very, very stupid edition of Bard in the Hobbit.
Yep.
God damn.
Anyway, this show, this garbage is just this garbage show is just just
Yeah.
garbage.
So there's
the
gonna be an extra.
Aaron first.
Sorry.
Thank you. The aftermath of the killing of the dragon is actually more important than the killing of the dragon.
True.
Interestingly.
I would say that's true, but it's just like it comes off as a major Deus Ex Machina that's very unsatisfying.
Deus Ex Machina?
Yeah.
So if you so if the Rings of Power is gonna have a good ending, it's gonna be like an extra. It's gonna kill Sauron. Easy.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
In the chat, did I miss something funny? The biggest tragedy truly is the damage done to the IPs. Well, yeah, I don't know how much damage it'll actually do, because the books will still be there, and the Peter Jackson films will still be there. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of the problem is like it doesn't necessarily try to ruin characters. It ruined the Peter Jackson films because very few characters from the Lord of the Rings that play major roles in the Lord of the Rings are in Rings of Power. It's pretty much just Elrond, Galadriel, and Sauron have all been ruined by this show. Yeah. Yeah, the treasure, yeah. They wanted to steal it, yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of narratively unsatisfying that it's just this really incredible danger is killed by a nobody. It's just really frustrating. But yeah, we'll yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is actually very true.
Assuming that this show is still being shown in, because I mean, I guess it's still. I mean, I guess it'll still be available on whatever. But,
it'll be available on Amazon until the end of time.
Yeah.
Well, until the end of Amazon, anyway.
Which is not going to be for another few decades.
Mm-hmm.
And end of everlasting shall be Bezos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and therefore not read the books. That is actually true.
Well, yeah, that actually might be true because people these days commonly don't read books. They just watch stuff on TV and they think that's it. Or they watch the films. I mean, people think, if you say Lord of the Rings, people think Peter Jackson, which is absolute raw. I mean, not that the films are raw, but that it's raw to say, to associate with Lord of the Rings, to think the first thing of Peter Jackson.
Yeah, I would concur with that. There's definitely an element of like, there's a lot of things like, well, for instance, I think that the best Balrog, like even in artwork, like I've looked at artwork of Balrogs, and it's just not as good as the stuff that Peter Jackson did. So I think that's one of the major reasons why so many people associate the iconography of the Lord of the Rings with Peter Jackson's films. Because due to just how amazing it looked and how much it captured it, I think it's just going to be indelibly associated imagery-wise with Tolkien, even if some of some of the plot points were changed. I do agree that Gollum tripping and falling into the lava was not a good decision. Yeah, the Bashy version sucks. It doesn't suck as bad as this show, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I remember hearing that. Balrogs are cool and dragons are cute. Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty. I don't think that many people will watch it when it's over. I think they'll watch it when it becomes relevant. But yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Well, well, I think that we will have to conclude it there. I have to say, I called Sauron was Halbrand from the start. Admittedly, I heard it from Nerdrotic.
We all did, to be fair.
I mean, even I guessed it very, very early on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we'll have to conclude it there. And we actually have a perfect exit for that one.
Wait. Tomorrow, this live stream on Oathbringer by Brando Sando.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Come along if you want to watch it. We would love to have you. Anyway, we'll call it good for today. We'll see you tomorrow for Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson, and we'll see you later.
Have
Bye.
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 Larry, what the hell are you doing? Larry! Larry, you can't just... Oh, Larry! Oh, are you all right? How did... Larry! Righto, what's going on here?
Sir, I'm arrested. Oh,